goes as well, and the more we can get to places that rugby doesn't get into, the better it is for the sport.
Lloyd?
So yeah, just given the opposition, obviously the England rivalry's been...
Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Box. Rassie Erasmus has officially named his side to face England this weekend. And the big news is no bomb squad, a 5-3 split, making it quite common that when the Springboks place England, they generally seem to go to the 5-3 split, and not changing that this week. And a very new look team. Now, Rassie Erasmus has given a press conference and kind of explained why he's made his changes, why he's gone with a 5-3 split. He actually went into a bit of detail about the England game plan, for example, what they're expecting, as well as some of the key changes for this weekend. Before we get back into what he said, for example, let's start explaining why we've gone with the 6-2, the 5-3 rather than a 6-2 or 7-1 and the likes. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so we've gone with a very strong starting pack. Wilco Louw, by the way, getting a start back in the mix for the first time since about 2019, and will start against England alongside Oxenchair and Bongi Iminambi Archiesname, and also getting a start this weekend. Now, the big thing that Rassie Erasmus emphasized during his press conference is the fact that it is a 6-day turnaround for the Boks. Now, if you're in an elite environment, for example, something that you continuously learn and you hear about is recovery and how long it takes to aptly recover from a game. And apparently, basically the concept is that a day is absolutely massive. You know, the difference in a day, for example, is, you know, those final 2, 3, 4% in a game, which can be the difference between winning and losing. And so Rassie Erasmus basically said that they had basically picked the back line for Scotland, for England, almost sort of before Scotland type of thing. They had already decided that they were going to pick two different backlines, and they are completely two different backlines. No backline player from last weekend is starting, and the only players that started last weekend in the pack that are starting this weekend are Oxenchair, Bongi Iminambi, and Eben Etzebeth. So 12 changes to the lineup. A lot of it is about freshness. It's about making sure the players are ready to go come Saturday, and the only players who are starting the Boks are Bongi Iminambi, Oxenchair, Eben Etzebeth. You know, chances are they probably might not even play next week, but those are players who've been playing throughout the season, are fully match fit, for example, and up to sort of the task. So a big thing as well, we sort of spoke about the England game plan, the fact that, you know, Steve Borthwick's side generally do kick a lot and kick to contest and to try and sort of create the scraps and those sort of moments and sort of create fringe moments. And he spoke about the fact that in the past, you know, the way they defend, the way that they pepper the backline with kicks and the likes, is that it's a very tiring team to play against, and it's quite easy to burn out against England. And that's where he spoke about the fact that we've got a new backline. He said, and we have to have a 5-3. He spoke about the fact that it is, from a tactical perspective, playing against England, an area where backline players can often get quite tired and they need to have options over them. And this is why it's quite interesting. You know, as the world champions, the best team in the world, how much do you pick your best team versus how much do you pick a team for the opponent you're playing against? And I think what makes the teams the best in the world is when you find that sort of middle ground, you know, that certain amount of, right, well, it's this team, so we need to adjust slightly, but at the end of the day, we are the best team in the world for a good reason. We don't want to move away from what has made us that best team in the world. So I think there's a bit of a combination. You know, we've gone with, it's basically our strongest side. And I think you probably find that they would have looked ahead to this England game. They would have seen the fact that it's a 6-day turnaround, and they would have said, right, we need to have this team for England, therefore what team we're going to have against Scotland. Because in theory, this is our most difficult game. On the rankings these days, you know, England might slip down if they beat us this weekend, if Scotland were to win, for example, if England were to lose and Scotland were to win. But this is the big test at the end of the day. There's a bigger rivalry when it comes to England. They are higher in the rankings, for example. You know, most recently we played them last year. It was a 1-point win. So there's a lot riding on this game. And as such, they probably would have picked pretty much a 23 versus England and then kind of worked their way backwards and gone, right, now who do we pick against Scotland, for example? Because that's how this team operate, or the coaching staff operate. They will plan the entire match tour. They're not going to sit there and go, right, this is team one. And then after the game, they go, right, who are we selecting for team two? You know, they have a pretty steady plan for the entire Autumn Nations series. So the big selections, obviously, Wilkelo at 3, which I think is a great selection. I think that he's going to give Ellis Genge a really tough time this weekend. We're assuming Ellis Genge does start for England, who I don't expect to change too much. In fact, it'll be very interesting to see what changes they do make, if any, for their clash this weekend. Coming off the back of 2 losses would indicate that maybe changes are required, but it was a reasonable performance against New Zealand, for example, where maybe on a better day, where they were more accurate, they could have won, and had good moments against Australia. Now, the big thing for the Springboks is to navigate the kicking game, and I think we will also kick ourselves quite a lot this weekend, especially with the changing rules in terms of about how you protect the receiver, for example. And if you change your lane or slow it down, you'll get penalized for obstructing the chaser. So that perspective is going to be very interesting to see how we use an athlete Varsity, who this year has been very good under the high ball. How Malibok will kick off 10. How Grant Williams might kick off 9. Box kicking was not one of Grant Williams' initial strengths. It's something he's had to really add to his game as he sort of played. He's become very good at it, but it's not something he was sort of naturally when he came through, a big part of his game. And I think the main thing is that we've got a pack that should give front football to Malibok. Now, what we saw from last week with Australia is that there is space on the fringes of this English side. If you can go wide, you can get around this England defence. And if you can create a bit of chaos, for example, you can kind of fracture that England rush defence, create gaps. And if there's ever someone who, if England's defensive effort is not 100% on point and there are gaps, to exploit those gaps, Malibok is your guy. And I think that's what they've gone with. They've looked at England, the rush defence, and the fact that when it's on song, it's very difficult to get past. But if you can create scenarios where the defence isn't quite lined up, like Will Jordan coming on the inside from Beauden Barrett past Ellis Genge, that becomes matchups where you can kind of create those situations. And Malibok is very good at being able to identify those spaces, those opportunities, and put the right people into the mix. But at the same time, if things are going badly, if they do come with a very physical game and we might not be coping physically, for example, or even just in the loose being sort of moved around a lot, we can then put on a 100 Pollard and go to a far more tactical type of arm wrestle sort of game plan where we can kick quite deep, for example, or we can kick more contestables, but try and get the forwards moving a little bit less, and say then, for example, the likes of the scrums where you can try and win scrum penalties, knock them over for the threes. So I think the main thing, and Rusty also spoke about this, the fact that they've been developing team depth, not only from a player personnel point of view, but the individual players being able to play in different positions and making themselves quite versatile. And that makes it obviously very much easier to sort of implement different game plans. In terms of something's not working, you can make that change. You can, change your tactics slightly. You can stop doing something, start doing something more. And that way, I think if you look at this 23, there's a large amount of adaptability, both within the different types of players they can bring on, but even the players themselves in terms of how you can change things. You can put 100 Pollard at 10, Libok at 12. everybody, and welcome to Forever Sports for today's Springbok team prediction video. After a bit of a scrappy performance last night from the Boks, it'll be very interesting to see what Rassie Erasmus goes with. Right, hello everybody, and welcome to Forever Sports, and it is the big one. South Africa versus England at Twickenham. Kick off in just under an hour, which is very exciting because this is the game I think that we've all been really sort of targeting, isn't it? In terms of the 3 games we've got. I mean, Scotland obviously was the first hurdle, but the big one I think for a lot of people is this game today. And a lot to sort of prove, after that 1-point victory last year against England wasn't the most decisive performance we've had from the Boks. Lots of reasons for that, to be fair. But there's been a lot of talk about that and whether we deserve to win that semi-final, and the 1 point, etc., etc. But now we've got an opportunity to take on Steve Borthwick's side that are coming off 2 consecutive losses and lots of all the pressure on them, to be honest. No pressure on the Boks right now. Even if the Boks were to win today, no one's going to freak out, for example. No one's going to panic or anything like that, So it is a lot of pressure on England, very little pressure for the Boks. But at the same time, love to go and get a big victory. We did rest a lot of people. For example, in last week in Scotland, against Scotland. So we should have a really, really fresh team. And I think we've managed the team really, really well. Whereas if you look at that England side, for example, they have basically gone back-to-back same teams in the last 2 weeks. And we'll be feeling a little bit of the pressure as well as the fatigue that comes with having to put in those kind of performances week in and week out. I've got a poll running in the comments asking you who you are supporting. 394 votes. You can usually get that up to way over 1,000. So make sure you do and go and vote and let me know who you are supporting. We'll do score prediction stuff closer to the game. As mentioned, we've got still about an hour until kickoff, so plenty of time. We're going to have a little bit of content coming to you as well from the stadium. We do have a man on the ground. Mr. Dan Scholz is at Twickenham, and we'll be giving us some insights as to exactly what's happening over there. Very keen to see what the vibe is going to be like. We expect it to be pretty cool. Expecting to see a really good turnout, a big SAFA audience. I think there will be quite a big expat community over there, so we usually do get quite well supported over at Twickenham, which is where we play a lot of rugby, actually. We're going to be playing there potentially from the sounds of it once again next year with that talk about a potential game in the Rugby Championship against Argentina. So we haven't lost Twickenham, I think, in about 3-4 years. We've beaten New Zealand there in the last year. We've beaten Wales there. We've beaten England there 2 years ago. So at the moment, our recent record at Twickenham is looking very, very good. Now, Steve Borthwick, it's an interesting one because they've lost 2 in a row. Now, I don't think they've necessarily played dreadful rugby in those last 2 games. I think sometimes they were tactically naive a little bit, and there's definitely lots of shortcomings in this England squad. On paper, there's still very good players in there. There's still world-class players on their day who can make a difference, and that I think is the main thing what England will be focusing on. Is the fact that they've had some really strong games where they've put in some big performances and put in performances worth celebrating and worth being positive about. So there is something there for Steve Borthwick to try and sort of draw on going into this side. The big thing from the South African perspective is to basically continue growing, for example, continue building that depth. But more importantly is to pick up those results. It's to start coping with the idea that you are the number 1 side in the world and you are got that sort of target on your back all the time. You are the team that everybody wants to try and beat, which is a good place to be in. You want to be in that position. I know a lot of South Africans, especially when we're doing badly, try to say, we like being the underdogs and the likes, but we've got to start embracing the fact that we are right now the rugby standard, and we've got to live up to that standard. I think we did, for example, going back-to-back victories against New Zealand, and then we had that loss against Argentina, but then responded really well. So it's quite cool to have that sort of expectation of, right, well, you guys are the trendsetters, the trailblazers, and the world right now is trying to catch up to you, and we need to embrace that and continue trying to seek different levels of performance, which I think this coaching staff really is trying to. And that, for me, is the biggest positive so far. In terms of this game, conditions are supposed to be absolutely tremendous. So no excuses for some bad rugby. It is expected to be very dry. It's going to be quite cool. I think temperatures going on about 10 degrees. So it'll be a bit chilly. But when you start running around, that all sort itself out. So generally, I think, basically perfect conditions, really. And some very interesting selections. We'll talk about the teams in a bit, but South Africa and Mali Liebach is a very interesting selection in itself. I want you guys to do a bit of a check-in. We're going to listen to a bit of Rassie Rasmus's press conference because he explains very well why some of the changes that he made were made and what the story is there. So before I go to the Rugby Rasmus press conference there, I want you guys to jump in the comments and let me know where you are watching from. I like to do a bit of a worldwide bingo type of thing and basically tick off, can we tick off the different continents? How many countries can we tick off? And the likes. And when we return, then we're going to do a bit of a check-in, for example, over that. And we'll chat a little bit more about the teams itself, as well as some of the matchups. But until then, this is what Rassie Rasmus had to say after naming the side. And I think everything he said makes quite a lot of sense, to be honest. But in case you missed his press conference, this is what our head coach said when he tried to explain his team selection.
Okay, questions?
Yeah, 12 changes in just a week and a 5-3 split on the bench. Can you explain your thinking about that, please?
That thinking was done 3 weeks ago, prior to us getting onto the plane, even when we were in Jersey. And it's purely, we've been rotating the whole year. We're trying to, first of all, create depth, but quality and depth, and also caps experience, that if we get 2 or 3 injuries, all of a sudden that the third guy is not totally new to the system and knows our system. We're also trying to get versatile players who can cover more than one position. And then obviously, I think that I'm talking under correction here, but I think out of all the teams, England is the only team that does not have a 6-day turnaround. And our 6-day turnaround is in the England week. So for us to make sure we can handle their kicking game, which seems to be something that they really fall back on, and their rush defense, that will certainly have a heavy toll on our backs. That's where we went with a 5-3 split. And then hopefully our forwards are fresh from not playing all of them 80 minutes except Evan Etzebeth. So that was the thinking.
Thank you.
But Rassie, would you expect England to fall back to a more kick-heavy game like they did in the semi-final last year?
Yes, I do think sometimes one, and I'm not saying Steve will do it because he's, he's a man and he's a brave man and he knows what he wants and he's been successful playing a certain style. I'm talking about Leicester and other teams where he's been involved with and played with. And surely at Leicester, very much driven around pressure, physicality, kicking game, scraps around kicking game, and the defense system. When you lose 2 games, even if it's by a point or last minute try, the pressure do start to build. I've been there. I certainly know how quickly that can get to you. And then one normally falls back onto what works for you. I think they've been successful like that in the past. So we very much expect them to try and squeeze us with the kicking game.
Lloyd, and then over there.
Yes, obviously the name that stands out is Wilco Low. It's been a while, and just talk us through what he's been like in camp and what you're expecting from him, and maybe how he's developed since he was last year.
Yeah, I think again, if you look, what we're trying to do there is, without making the Springbok jersey cheap, we always know when a player plays there, hopefully he can not just be a 1 test match or a 2 test match. I know he's got 8 or 10 or something like that already. But if you look, France, is not a lighty anymore. He's not young anymore. We're really trying to prolong some guys' careers and see who can make it till the next World Cup, and by that we'll have to rotate. France is actually rotating now because he's got an injury. A guy like Trevor, we want him to get proper game time at the Sharks week in and week out before we look at him again. We know what we have in Vincent. We've now seen how well Thomas did last week, and we've got the opportunity now to see what Wilco have. And we don't think picking Wilco will. If we do lose this game, it will not be because of Wilco. He's come up leaps and bounds, and he's certainly a very good scrummer. And just like we didn't consider Jean Klein for this weekend because he just hasn't trained a lot with us, We didn't consider Wilco last weekend because he's now only been with us for 2.5 weeks. So we thought this would be the good game for him to get a chance.
England have struggled in the fourth quarter in a couple of their last matches. They lost it in the last couple of plays in the last couple of weeks. Can I ask what you put that down to? Have you seen any sort of threats between the players?
For me to comment on why other team doesn't finish in the last couple of minutes is difficult because I don't know their plans exactly and how they play and how they manage players and I do know they've got a big management staff and a very scientific way of looking at things. But you look at New Zealand, they had a trend like that 4 or 5 matches ago, but they seem to turn that around and start winning matches in the last couple of minutes. I do know England play a really energy sapping game, which take a toll on us, our backline. But I think their rush defense also takes a toll on them. You know, rushing up 5 meters, rushing back 5 meters, rushing up 5 meters, rushing back 5 meters. That certainly puts us under pressure. But also, you know, if you can keep the ball, that will certainly tire them a little bit. But then again, we're also a team that have line speed. So it might be somewhere in there, but I can't say with conviction.
How much of an advantage does it give a team when they have a 7-day preparation and the opposition has a 6-day preparation?
No, massive. It makes a massive role. The one basically have 2 training days in which you must put in all your departments, and you know that's why we already picked the backline for England the previous week. You know, the guys Jesse, Damien, Cheslin, Currie, Fussy, those guys. Last week Thursday, after they helped the guys prepared for Scotland, they turned their heads to England and they started analysing England and so on, just to try and be on par with England, because England would have had a 8-day turnaround, didn't they? No, 7-day turnaround, sorry. So yeah, you've got a training day less, and then if you do have a training day, the same amount of training days, you've got the recovery day less. So it's quite big.
Over there.
Yeah, just going to ask whether you went 5-3 for the World Cup semi-final as well. Is there something about English traits of playing that kind of caused you to do that specifically against them?
Yes, I've said it open, and I don't think England will change their game plan because of what I say here at this press conference. They tend to go to a hell of a kicking game, and everybody not everybody, it's well known in rugby circles that Steve expects those guys to run almost 80% of their max when they chase those kicks, and they put a hell of a lot of pressure on you, and if your backline don't have the ability to match that, you know, your forwards can't always get there. You do get cramps, you do get tiredness, and guy like Damien and Jesse and Cheslin wouldn't have played in the last 5 weeks, but they've kept fit, really fit, and that's the reason why we have Lucanio on there, and then also Andre as a cover. And also Kobus, who's mostly some of those guys. Andre has played for 80 minutes now. Kobus has been in the mix, you know, and then Grant has been in the mix. So yes, I think it's to try and match their speed and running ability.
Nick?
Razzie, what's it like as a coach being under pressure, the human side of it? Does it manifest itself into your decision making? Just like how does it affect a coach when you've not won for a couple of months? And secondly, what do you make of England's scrum?
No, look, we've been on that side. 2-3 years ago, we lost 3 on the trot when Jacques was the coach, and the next one was New Zealand that we played, and it was almost 4 on the trot, you know. And I think it depends on who's the men in the room and the woman in the room and the management in the room, and who's your CEO and who's your board, and do they make you feel safe, or do they make you feel you've got a gun against your head? Do you make emotional decisions? I think when you can try and create the environment that, listen, let's be non-emotional and say, yes, the All Blacks, we almost got them, you know. Australia, last minute try, you know, if we just didn't sleep there and we were sharp there, it could have been 2 wins. So if you're going to just do it emotionally and put pressure on those coaches there, it's not nice. It's not lacquer. You tend to make emotional decisions but I think Steve is too smart for that, and you start listening to what the media say, and where they are sometimes right, you try to please them a little bit, but I don't think he's that kind of man, and hopefully, I don't know, hopefully, maybe we say the other way, but hopefully the environment around him is for him to still believe in what he's doing, and hopefully he'll get the win next weekend. The scrums, no. Obviously, Sia's terug as kaptein, en dan die agterlyn is omtrent heeltemal 'n nuwe agterlyn. Net Grant Williams bly in die agterlyn wat omtrent so is. En ja, dis maar die basiese redes. En wat verwag ons van hulle op Twickenham, 'n volgepakte Twickenham, en desperate span wat baie trots is op hulle land. En met 'n great support en 'n great atmosfeer op Twickenham, en ons sal dit probeer match op die dag.
Right, so Rusty Rasmus there giving us a bit of an explanation as to why he's gone with the team he has. And it's a very interesting team. We're going to look at it a little bit and we're going to break it down. I want to look at some of the matchups really, because England have gone very predictable with their lineup. And South Africa, I suppose, also pretty predictable in terms of the starting 15. I mean, Marty Liebach, Grant Williams, probably the 2 wild cards that maybe people weren't particularly sure about who was going to start at 10 or at 9, for example. The rest of the backline's pretty predictable, and it's a hell of a pack. But they're then going to throw Wilco low. So it's quite clear in terms of the different team selections what the plan of each team is, where they're going to try and target each other. The box scrum time, that's the target. You look at that front row, you look at the tight five, the pack. They want to have a go at scrum time. They want to create those opportunities, use the opportunities to kick to the corners, for example, with Marty Liebach, and try and create try-scoring opportunities. If you look at England, high ball, high ball, high ball. That's exactly, they picked a team that they want to put the ball in the air and then contest. And that's why a player like Freddie Stewart, for example, has come back in. So it's quite clear, for example, quite quickly, where these teams are targeting the different aspects of the game. How successful they'll be, well, that's going to be the question, isn't it? It's one thing to have a game plan, but it's another thing in terms of what actually happens in the game. The famous boxing saying that everybody's got a plan until you get hit in the face. And it's a similar type of thing. Yeah, it's very easy to sit there and say, well, the plan is to go high and contest with kicks and try and work on turnover ball and the likes. But all of a sudden, for example, you can be going backwards, you can be really struggling, and you can't even get to yourself to create the situations that you were sort of training for. Now, before we went to the Rugby press conference, I asked you guys to do a bit of a check-in, and still can check in. I want to see where you guys are watching from and see if we can find different places. And earlier we had Patrick saying, hello from Ireland, Patrick O'Brien here. How are you today, lads? Oh, very well, Patrick. Very, very well. How are you doing? How are you coping with last night's game? Bit of a squeaky bum time. Did get the victory. How are you feeling about the performance over there? And Adele coming in from Alberton. And we've got a big party coming from Cape Town. David van Hasten in Kingston, Canada. Somebody else was coming in watching from Barberton and Mpumalanga. Winter Weaver watching from Scotland. I'll be saying, so excited and great haircut, Steve. Thank you. I've needed it. In the summer heat of Gauteng, I cannot do long hair, and I've had my hair. I needed a haircut for about 2-3 weeks, and today I said I've had enough. Need the haircut. So got the mo, got the stash going. Quite a lot of comments about the stash. At least it's not that kind of like 19-year-old can't grow a moustache type of thing, which I had for years. So I'm feeling like a bit of a new me at the moment. And the nice thing as well, by the way, with our new studios, I can actually watch a game in my Bok jersey. It felt quite weird out of my Bok jersey today. Usually when we do the kind of green screen, it's kind of green. So, yeah, the shirt started to disappear and became a bit of the floating man. But looked at Harry Potter with his invisibility cloak type of vibes. But we've got about 40 minutes until kickoff, so plenty of time to really get settled in. And we can have a lot of conversations and debate. I actually really enjoyed our pre-chat last night, Ireland versus Argentina. We had quite a cool in terms about, I think we're chatting about, where it's going to be Ireland, won and lost between Ireland and Argentina. We kind of identified a few aspects, and within the first 4 or 5 minutes, we were already quite in tune with regards to what was going on, and basically everything we had talked about before was coming true in front of our eyes. So it was quite cool to have had that conversation and then to see it all in action. Tanya Short saying, coming from Cape Town. Eugene saying, Argentina should have won last night. And Charles saying, how's it from Mallorca in Spain? And Corky saying, he's very excited. And J.H. Garcia saying, coming from Hannes Bloemfontein. There we go. Welcome. So from near, far, wide, and the likes. We're going to talk about the teams. I want to talk about the teams quite a lot. And I want to talk about the South African team in particular and the 5-3 split, for example. And the fact that we always go with a 5-3 split against England, for whatever reason. And Rusty Russ basically alluded to the fact that England move the backline players quite a lot and the way they play, for example, the pressure they create. And that's one of the reasons they go the 5-3 split, to have more backline players, because apparently the backline gets quite tired when they play against England. That's something that they've realized and the data has shown when they played against them. So it's quite interesting. That's not something that you would think about, really, when you go into a 5-3 split. So it was interesting to hear him identify as that one of the main reasons, And I do think, to be fair, from a pack perspective, we've got a dominant pack already. We don't necessarily have to release a bomb squad and the likes to try and overpower England packs. I do think we've got enough firepower, especially in the starting pack that we have selected. Arcus Slamming getting a rest start, Wilco Low, our best scrummaging tight in the country. So I think the big moment that everybody in from South Africa, all the fans are waiting for that first scrap. That is what we're all waiting for, and it's gonna be one of those things where someone's gonna knock on a ball and everyone's gonna go, here we go, boys. So I think that's the part I'm most excited about. And what will be awkward, for example, is if we get to that first scrum and we don't dominate it, for example, and we don't get the ascendancy, or for example, we can see the scrum penalty and we go backwards, then all of a sudden we're going to go, oh, hello. Could not be as easy as we think, but that's what the exciting part is. Similarly, for example, from an England point of view, they're going to lift it high in the air, and if Cheslin Colby, Apele Fassi, and Currie Ironstar take it quite easily, then England might sit there going, shit, that was kind of like our way into the game. What do we do now? So, yeah. A couple of other people are checking in over here. Mark saying he's having life in Perth. Philip saying, live in Norway, but watching from Bologna in Italy. Oh, must be nice. A little Italian getaway over there. Christian saying, SA citizen from Mauritius, go Boca. Mike from the USA checking in. Wayne Dodgen from the UK in Plymouth. Corky saying, Evan needs to put a big hit on Itoje. And that's why saying, how long till the game begins? It is about 35 minutes, so still over half an hour. So still got time. If you're Brian, for example, that meat needs to be on the brine now, boys. Can't be right lighting fires. You're too late. The meat's got to be on the fire. The brandy's got to be poured. Like, come now, people. We're now into the second last game of the season. If you don't have your pre-match plan worked out by now, I can't help you, actually. If you don't know what the schedule is working backwards, game starts at 7, first brandy starts at 7 in the morning, marathon, not a sprint type of vibes. Plus, it's a great match coming up after this as well. New Zealand versus France. That should be absolutely epic. Cole will be doing that game with you guys, so it'll not be me. I will be doing the player rating show, so that's something to look forward to. And yeah, we'll be doing that after the show as well. And then we will have a press conference, by the way, for Steve Borthwick, as well as Rassie Rasmus. As mentioned, we do have a man on the ground. Mr. Dan Scholz is currently at Twickenham. So he will be giving us some updates from there, as well as a lot of post-match coverage. So if you are new to the channel, which I don't think too many of you guys are. You guys are all veterans of the game, aren't you? But if you are new, first of all, welcome. Where have you been? We've been expecting you guys. But please do subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 85,000 subscribers, sitting 500 sharp, 82,000, trying to get to 85,000 by the end of the year. And on the long-term road to 100,000, hopefully the next year or two, which would be very, very cool. So welcome to the channel if you are new. And if you're one of the returning people, it's always great to have you. Also, big welcome to a couple of our members, new members earlier. I saw Tabo Lester joining the Forever Fan. We had Maureen Extian earlier becoming part of the Forever Fan, becoming a Forever Fan. Adele Marie becoming a Forever Fan, all joining the Forever Sports Members Club getting yourself some perks and some access to some of the podcasts, for example. By the way, the Freighter Sports podcast will debut tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Very excited for the podcast. We've recorded a couple of episodes already. Got some very, very cool guests lined up that we will be recording in the next few weeks. So make sure you do tune into the channel. And if you would like to have early access to that podcast, as well as some of the exclusive stuff that we're doing with our guests, then please do consider becoming part of the Members Club, because that is one of the benefits that you do get. Right, let's have a look at the Springboks side, and then we'll sort of start breaking it down and talking a little bit about where this game is going to be won and lost, and what some of the interesting selections are. So in case you did miss it, this is the team that Varsity Rasmus has selected that'll run out in just under 35 minutes. Right, so very interesting side that has been picked by Rasmus. As I said, the big thing is that 5-3 split, as well as Springboks starting. Let's start sort of in the front row and kind of work our way back with regards to some of the interesting selections that Rassie Erasmus has made. So let's start in the front row. Right, so Wilco Louw comes in, and what a story for Wilco Louw, to be fair. Was on the reserve list, basically, and wasn't supposed to be part of the squad. And then there's an injury to France Maheba, and so they called up Wilco Louw, who has not played, I think, since 2019, I think it is, the last time he played, 2018 even, actually, and comes into the squad. And then all of a sudden probably gets told a couple of weeks ago, listen, by the way, you're going to start against England. So if there's ever an opportunity for him to really make a massive, massive statement, now would be the time to go and like completely scrap that England front row. That would be how you make a big statement. And we've gone with an incredibly strong scrummaging front row. I mean, Oxen Chair, people have been talking about him in the realms of World Player of the Year. He's been so good this year. You got Bongi Minambi, probably our best scrummaging hooker. You know, as look very good technical player, very solid, pretty big, and you know it was pretty. And then you got the starts with Evan Etzebeth and Arcus Neyman. Now, as if for example having Wilco Louw packing down at 130 odd kgs, you've then got Arcus Neyman who adds another 138 kgs, and an Evan Etzebeth, for example, who adds another 100 and about 20 odd kgs. I think Arcus Neyman is officially heavier than him. So it's a huge front five, and it's a powerful front five. So we are going to see very, very interesting from a scrum point of view, a proper tight five. And they've been backed up by a pretty powerful back three as well in Pierre the Toy, Sia Khaleesi, and Jasper Wiese. So it's a pretty big scrum. It's a much bigger scrum than it was last week, because you've got Arcus Neyman and Frank Mostert. Not that Frank Mostert's a small player, but Arcus Neyman is bigger. Your Quacker Smith, for example, comes out. Jasper Wiese in, Pierre the Toy in for Ulrich Louw. Sia Khaleesi in for Marco van Staden. So it is a much bigger pack. And hopefully they'll have the firepower. So that is the front row. And I think that is a position. I mean, Don Human would have had a big week this week in terms of making sure they get that scrum dominance this week. It's all very well picking a front row. And I mean, we've got a phenomenal front row actually in the Super Sport, Shido and Chevin Yakane. But if you don't find that ascendancy, for example, you don't get that advantage, then you've kind of lost the entire point of making that sort of selection. So the front row is, I think, where a lot of this game is going to be won. I think a lot of the South Africa tactic is obviously scrum penalties, for example, find the pressure, kick for the corners, try and score tries at the back of them, and the likes like that. So that is going to be a very big part of the game. If we then move sort of a little bit further out onto the park, very interesting to see Mani Liebach starting, as well as obviously Mani Liebach. Now, I called for that Mani Liebach selection. I said in my team prediction earlier this week, I said I would love to see Mani Liebach get the call up. I think we're a better side when he plays. I think he offers so much to the side, and I think that he is just a different level when he's on song. And there is obviously the goal kicking query, and that's why it was interesting to see who the half back pairing was going to be, because if he was going to start, for example, was Jaden Henderson going to start next to him, because he does offer you a kicking option. They've gone with Grant Williams, which suggests they're going to go with pace. And I think, to be fair, what we watched last week with Australia is that we saw that when a team can get quite wide quite quickly against England, they can get past that rush defence, then they can really hurt them. And I think Mani Liebach, for example, a lot of our tries or opportunities, for example, is going to be for him just passing over the top, running those cloud passes, getting to those wide channels, getting past and through that rush defence. What's quite incredible is the fact that they had Felix Jones, still have Felix Jones on contract, for example, and yet they haven't used him. They haven't spoken to him this week. They haven't really tapped into his knowledge in the box. And I mean, I find that absolutely incredible that you've got a resource like Felix Jones, who has been part of 2 Rugby World Cup winning campaigns. Look, he left, to be fair. He kind of basically didn't like the environment, it's not for him. And he's going. Alan Walters also left. Alan Walters was kind of went to Ireland, and they kind of released him for his contract, or they allowed Ireland to buy him out of his contract. Whereas Felix Jones said, listen, he wants to go, and they basically said, well, unlux, you're going to serve the length of your contract, type of thing. And apparently he's been working, remotely and sending in an analysis and the likes. But apparently, for all intents and purposes, he hasn't been consulted, for example. They haven't really spoken to him at all today or this week with regards to his input, which I find mind-blowing. I mean, how you wouldn't tap into that kind of resource blows my mind. But hey, that's England. Obviously, they don't need it, so we'll have to wait and see whether they do or don't need it. But look at the rest of that back line. Upper Fast has been playing some great rugby. You don't necessarily need a Villaroo when you got Martin Liebach because he does take on that playmaker role. Whereas on 100 Pollard players, you often see Villaroo at first receiver, creating the opportunities. The cross kick last week, absolutely sumptuous. Still thinking about that every day. I have dreams of that cross kick. It was just so good. And but yeah, you don't necessarily need him when you've got Martin Liebach because he does create, and he has got that sort of vision that Willie Leroux has. So the big question mark in comments will be the goal kicking, and it is going to be Martin Liebach, I'm sure, from the beginning. You've got Ches and Colby as another option. It sounds like he was doing a lot of kicking in Jersey when they had a couple of opening training sessions. A lot of people that went to go watch said that they were watching Ches and Colby doing a lot of the kicking and the likes, so we expect to probably see that quite a lot. Box out there at the moment, warming up, and looks very, very good conditions. Doesn't look too wet. You've got Jaco Paper out on the field there with Don Human, Dwayne Murin running around. Just the amount of knowledge on that field and the box coaching staff is tremendous. You then got Tony Brown to add to that. Yeah, they've amassed a really, really good coaching staff. I love the fact that we've got international players in like that, Jerry Flannery and Tony Brown. So we've got a couple of other options there. Then you've got something like a Dwayne Flannery, for example, who right now in the warm up I think is packing down at 8, for example, so that they can have live scrums. It's exactly what he is doing. I mean, to have that kind of person is very, very cool. And you got Jaco Paper, for example, who's like watching the scrums, officiating it. So that in itself, you watch that, you got Don Human, the scrum coach, watching on. I mean, they're busy doing a live scrum. And Andre Estes, I think, is packing down on the flank. It looks, sorry, that's Jan Kobler who's over there, and John Klein's out there warming up with them as well on the flank there. So yeah, the fact that you can go and do a live scrum is, I mean, this is the main thing. It's what I'm talking about. Live scrum, you've got Don Human, your scrum coach, who's directed. You've got Dwayne Muir, who is warming up with them and adding his weight at the back of the scrum so that you can have a full 8-on-8 scrum. And then you've got Jaco Paper, who's running it and saying, right, listen, I would ping you for hinging, or you need to do this. So, I mean, just in the warm-up, for example, the tiny details that box, can get right and are looking to try and get right with this coaching staff is incredible. Proper 4D thinking from Rassie Erasmus. And he's looking very relaxed, by the way, looking very healthy. He is on medication. He is a little bit ill. Well, was a bit ill this earlier this year. But the good news for him is that he's looking a lot better in the last couple of months. And looking very relaxed on TV. They're giving his pre-match interview, which is good to see. You want to see a relaxed Rassie Erasmus, because a relaxed Rassie Erasmus is one that means that usually the Boks are doing very well. And he's very, very confident. And why shouldn't he be? It's our game to lose tonight. Because we've got the firepower to beat England, and we should be beating England. And, if we don't, it'll be very, very frustrating. It's one of those things. I said, as mentioned earlier, we've now, as being the number one and the world champion, we are the standard. And the biggest thing we've got to learn is how to cope with that standard, cope with that pressure of being the standard. Because we quite like being the underdogs. And I've said quite a long time, I don't like that. I said I don't mind the underdog thing, but I think we need to start embracing the fact that we are the best in the world. Why must we shy away from it? So we looked at our team. Now let's have a look at the England side that Steve Borthwick has picked. Very, very consistent from him, which I do think might mean that they might be a little bit fatigued. In theory, the box should be a lot fresher. It'll be interesting to see if we do see that this evening. But in terms of that side, Steve Borthwick has made a very notable change, in fairness to him. And once again, very interesting to see how that does work. So pay attention to the number 15 that England have picked, because that for me is a very big indication of the type of game that they want to play this evening. Right, so that is the England side that Steve Borthwick has selected. Now, the main thing to really watch out for there is Freddie Stewart coming in at 15. So just like, for example, the Boks are going to really target the scrums, scrum penalty, scrum dominance, and the likes, England, who play a very kicking dominant game anyway, will be looking at that kicking game today. They will be looking to try and put pressure on Ches and Colby, Currie, Orange, Varsity, and trying to get Freddie Stewart into the game. He is very good under the high balls, Freddie Stewart, who has got a lot of tests for somebody of his age, to be fair. He came through, it sort of took to test rugby like a duck to water, then had a bit of a lull, kind of lost his place in the side, and he's had to sort of wait his turn a little bit. So a big opportunity for him tonight to try and get things right. Now, just as we're looking on the screen over here, looking at how poor the Lions were last week, and the South African Lions this year has sometimes functioned really well, sometimes functioned really badly. We've got to get our set pieces right today. You know, that set piece dominance, that is where, for example, you're going to get Marnie Liebach really, really cooking. When you're playing in front of a dominant scrum, going backwards, bit of space, Marnie Liebach can really start to do damage there. You know, if it's a scrum going backwards, you know, you can cope, but he's going to struggle to really sort of affect the game as much as he would if we get sort of that set piece dominance. Welcome, Georgie Barlow Clark, the latest Forever fan, joining the Forever Sports Members Club. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you. A couple of comments, and Anthony says, the Bokke properly clicked tonight, Boks win by 50 points. Let's do that, shall we? We've got 30 minutes left before kickoff. Let's get some score predictions in. I'm also going to close the poll with said who are you supporting tonight. 1,500 of you guys have voted on that, and 91%, I think it was. It'll pop up in a minute saying you guys are supporting the Springboks. So a big, obviously, South African contingent over here. We did have a bit of a couple of Irish lads in here earlier, a couple of guys from Scotland and the likes. Not entirely sure where our poll's gone, why it's not reflecting the results. But there it is. So 1.5 thousand votes, 93% of them supporting the Boks. Let's do a score prediction check-in, people. I want you to drop your score predictions in the comments below. We are going to be doing a new score predictions feature, by the way, where basically it's going to just take you to the website. You submit your score prediction, the email address, stuff like that, and we'll basically announce who was the closest every week on our community tab. Down the line, we're then going to do giveaways with that kind of concept, and we did that previously with Bet Codes, for example. We've got a couple of things in the works. So it's the same website, for example, we do the play ratings with. We've got that whole Predict Your Team plugin now as well that we're working on, which I think a lot of people seem to have enjoyed. So I'm glad that you guys are getting involved in that. But let's get some score predictions in. I'm going to put in a poll saying, who do you think is going to win tonight? Your options being South Africa and England. And if you really want to be quite contentious, you can throw in a draw as an option. I'll put it there. I'll put it in there so you can vote for a draw. I'll be very surprised if we do see a draw, but you got to make it the option, don't you? Right, so it's a couple of early predictions over here. And Craig Bourne's gone 35-18 to the Bokke. Christopher Stefan's gone with 66 points to 21. Boks win. John Grand has gone with South Africa 36-21 England. And Cumbrian Mackham has gone with England by 5. There's a Sunderland badge, to be fair. So the England fan being nice and hopeful, I think is probably the word. Optimistic, cautiously optimistic, and is predicting an England win. So look, fair enough. You got to back your buggers, don't you? I wouldn't back your buggers, but you never know. As I said, you could yet find a pretty good result. Jason going with a 24-32 to RSA. Mark saying 29-14 in favour of the UK. The Twickenham lights are out. The players are in the change room. We will have kickoff in 10 minutes' time. And a bit of a light, some fireworks and the works going on. Oh, I tell you. They're bringing out all the stops over there, Twickenham. So it looks like a bar. To be fair, it is one of those places you have to go and watch, isn't it? Although, to be honest, I think Murrayfield and the Millennium Stadium probably still ahead of Twickenham in terms of where I would like to go and watch a game. I've always wanted to go watch a game at the Millennium Stadium. That is probably my bucket list one. The Welsh anthem, stadium like roof closed, the works. In fact, that could be quite a cool poll actually. Yeah, I'm actually. So we've got that poll running over there. Who do you think is going to win tonight? We're going to close it off in 5 minutes time. So get your votes in, and then I want to do a poll. I'd be interested to know out of the British and Irish nations, you know, the home nations, which stadium would you want to watch a game in? The Millennium, Twickenham, Murrayfield, or the Aviva? I'd be very interested to see what wins. For me, it's the Millennium. That's the one I really want to watch a game in. After that, probably Murrayfield. I'd love to see the pipe on top of the stadium, for example. And then probably Twickenham. Then the Aviva. I wouldn't be massively upset if I don't get to watch a game at the Aviva Stadium. A couple of other score predictions coming in. Kuba saying 24-14, Box to win. Logan saying South Africa 47, England 22. Delta Sierra saying it's 25, England 20, going with a much closer result. Mostra going with 35-20, Box win. Enzo going with 37-12, and Peter going with 20 points to 13, Boca win. Conditions all looking very, very good at the moment. I'll ask our a correspondent over there who is on the ground. What is the weather? I'm going to ask a very simple weather update and vertical question mark. You know, what's the chat? He said to you, he sent a photo. I'll put it on the screen actually, and you guys can sort of get an idea of what the weather's looking like. So this was from the warm-ups earlier. Yeah, so that was the weather earlier and the view that he had. So, for all intents and purposes, the conditions look good. They do look good. I don't think it's going to be particularly wet. Might be a bit dewy in the evening, but not raining like we sometimes do see quite often at Twickenham. So hopefully conditions are pretty prime for some running rugby. And when you've got a Minor Ebok, you want conditions that are prime for running rugby so that you can really get going. Couple of other core predictions coming in over here, and Rudolph saying watching from South Africa and Randburg and Linden, down the road actually. Philip saying Boca 25, England 18. Jean saying loves the Boca. Carlos going with Boca 34, Scotland 17. Well, I might be a bit late for that, to be honest. Delta says Murrayfield with South African pipers at the top, blowing Corsicaleri disdain for the will to hear. Peter saying 27-12, Box win. Stephen says Twickenham is an amazing experience. And Jean going with the Box 45, England 13. I'm going to put that poll up very, very shortly because I think it's going to be a cool poll. We've got almost 400 votes, and it's a runaway for in terms of who we think is going to win. So I'll leave that for another 2 minutes, but I want to do that poll of where would you guys really like to watch a game, because that's I think will be quite interesting, to be honest. The plan is next year, by the way, we will be going over next year at this stage. We want to go over this year, but, you know, the rand, pound, the whole exchange rate, but it's a bit unfeasible. But we will be going over next year, which I'm very excited about because, I've always dreamed on going to these games. So watch the Box in France. Watch them now in Nelspruit or Mambela. Watch them in Gqeberha, watched them in Ellis, watched at Soccer City, and I've watched at Loftus. I need to watch them in Cape Town. I need to watch them in Bloem. So I've still got quite a lot of South Africa to tick off, and then I need to start watching a bit more overseas stuff. Hopefully go over to New Zealand, Australia, and the likes. It'll be really cool to go over to France next year once again, because I actually had tickets to that France game. Didn't go, which was very pretty heartbreaking. Team's about really coming off, by the way. We'll have the national anthems very, very shortly. I'm going to end up that poll because it's got 500 votes. And I'm going to ask the new poll, which is, which stadium would you want to watch the Box play in? I'm very interested to see where this goes. Millennium Stadium, Cardiff, Murrayfield, in Edinburgh, Twickenham, in London, and the final one is Viva Stadium, Dublin. Right, there we go. Very, very keen to see how this poll is going to work out. The teams are on the field, by the way. We will have the national anthems underway very, very shortly. In the meantime, get involved in that poll. Smash a like on the video. And, right, the word is 3 words, by the way. Coming from the man on the ground. Weather is clear, no wind. Phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal stuff. Get yourself ready for what is going to be a spectacle. If we got those conditions, then we're going to be cooking over this. Twickenham, by the way, is off to an early lead in that poll with 49 votes. So Millennium Stadium bringing up a second. Then Murrayfield. Murrayfield's actually last. I found that very interesting. I really want to see Murrayfield. Jason says Edinburgh and Scotland would be insane, especially when they have the bagpipe on the roof of the stadium. You see what I'm saying? Like, for me, the Millennium Stadium... Yeah, and I think, to be fair, obviously, like, watching Box versus England or Box versus Ireland is one thing, but when I watch, like, the Millennium Stadium occasion as the fire and it's the full, band and the occasion and roof closed, and oh, no, every time I watch a game in the Millennium, then it's... yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. Right, people, we're going to go into the national anthem, and then when we come back, we will have kickoff. So don't go away. As I said, smash like on the video. We've got 125 likes. After the anthems, I'd love to be sitting close to the 200 mark. There are 2,000 of you currently watching, so it shouldn't be that hard to get. Basically, one in every about 10 of you needs to like the video, and we can get up to there as well. Before we go to national anthems, you'll get voting on that poll. Twickenham still winning, but Millennium holding strong. I'm very surprised that Murrayfield is last over there. But right, people, let's go to national anthems, and after that we will have kick-off. Right, anthems underway and kickoff coming up momentarily, people. Are we ready? This is the question. Are we ready for what I think is going to be an absolutely epic encounter? Preparations done. All the words in the media done. We do have kickoff coming up very, very, very shortly. Last chance to get your score predictions in, people. And that poll is going to be quite an interesting one. So I'm trying to work out who's actually got kickoff here. We're still waiting for confirmation of exactly that. Gonna have to excuse you for 2 seconds. As usual, just as the blooming kickoff's about to happen, we suddenly get a couple of technical issues, but that will be sorted out momentarily. Right, looks like England are going to have kickoff over here, so South Africa will be receiving kickoff. And we do have kickoff. England going pretty short to the right-hand side as well, taking a Peter Stefter toy. Let's go, people. Let's get into this, shall we? Grant Williams waiting for the ball over here. Looks like he's going to go straight to the boot early on. And he does go to the boot. It's well taken under the air there by Freddie Stewart. Sia Khaleesi have nice areas to make the hit. England back inside their own half. And they're going to go straight back and reply with a kick of their own. Jack van Portley actually then decides to actually go himself. But well cut out. Ball back to George Martin. As Jack van Portley lifts us all the way back towards the back. Right now we're going to have a... And Jack van Portley does go to the boot. Up towards that touch line there. And it comes back towards the England side. And Jamie George, I think, has knocked it backwards as the call. But right over there is Jasper Wiese, who made a legitimate turnover. But there was a knock-on advantage. So we will go back for the first scrum. Which, as we all kind of waiting for, here it is. Let's see what we're going to see now in this first scrum. Big tackle there, Kane Kirkley answers Sia Khaleesi. Make sure they know that make their physical presence known. Right, Freddie Stewart blocking a couple of instructions over here. And a scrum on just inside so block territory, right towards the right touch line. I actually want to look at the scrum packs there. 948 kgs for the Boks, 934 for England. Right, pretty big scrum already. And Grant Williams putting a bit of pressure on. Show and go coming from Freeman. Quick ball here from Portley. Marcus Smith looking for the cross kick. And Chesn Colby's going to come across. As he puts in the kick in behind. And Chesn Colby is there. Right up against the touchline. Goes to the boot. And I'm not quite sure where that actually has gone out. Jamie George wants the ball quite quickly. Good kicking behind there, actually. Intelligent play that from England. Good cross kick, and Ollie Slater going to the boot. Ball over the top, and oh my goodness, Sia Khaleesi read that like an absolute book. How is that not a knock-on, ref? There's no ways that's backwards. Sia Khaleesi, they've thrown the ball over the top of the line into Burnt Oil's hands, and Sia Khaleesi's absolutely hammered him. He's lost possession. Apparently backwards is the call. I'm a little bit apprehensive about that. But Marcus Smith goes to the side. Ollie Slater with a bit of space in behind. Grant Williams eventually brought down by Eamon Etzebeth with help from Chesn Colby. England on the front foot here. Murray Toje driven back. Good tackle. Big counter coming from Peter Steph the Toy. Ball available though from Jack van Portley. Now back in this pocket was Marcus Smith. Now he wants to go on the left-hand side. And it's Ollie Slater. That's an absolute disaster into the corner. I still want to know if we're going to go back and have a look at that Ben Earl knock-on. I thought it was a knock-on anyway. Well, England have scored first. Worst possible start for the Boks. And I want to go back and look at that tackle from Sia Khaleesi. Complete mismatch over here. There you see that Grant Williams starts coming to the left-hand side. Then all of a sudden, sees that the fact there's a bunch of forwards there. Oxen Chair can't make the tackle. Chesn Colby, yeah, it's 2 on 1. And by the time he makes the doubts to make that tackle, he just slips off it. But I would like to go back and look at that line-out. And what I say in the week, I said there's one person that's going to cause the Boks problem. It's going to be Marcus Smith. Bit of Marcus Smith magic here. Just looked up and saw all the forwards to the left-hand side. And decide, well, there we go. There's going to be a mismatch and he can have a go. And no issues with the conversion either. Right. Not the start you wanted. But it's the start we've gotten. And now we're going to have to pull our socks up and get back into the game. Right, Money Ball goes short. It's high in the air though. And it's gone straight a couple of hands. We turn over ball to Archie Snyman. Presents well here. So Boks have got possession off the back of that line. And then Grant Williams has left it behind. Eventually the call comes from the referee as forwards. Not a good start here, lads. First scrum was pretty good though, so hopefully we can have another go here. I'd love to get us a scrum with our own put in. But come on, chaps, it's a bit of a sloppy start. It was a nice kickoff, very well weighted by Ronnie Liebach and well contested to get the ball back, and then poor from Grant Williams to knock that out. And we saw Jaden Henderson doing that quite a lot last week. And it'll be interesting to see how much England must have watched that, for example, how they sort of disrupted those rucks to make it difficult for a Grant Williams, well, the scrum off to bring the ball out. We have a reset here at scrum time. Come on, lads. Big scrum here. Big scrum here. Let's make this count. Let's show them what's what. Yeah, look at that scrum. I mean, that scrum, I bet it all's come off the back of it, but you can already see that the dominance that Wilco Lowe is going to have on Ellis Gaines today. Jamie George. England full of confidence after that early try. Main thing for the Boks here is not to panic. And from Portley goes to the boot. Not gone particularly far. Who wants Currie Lawrence has called for it. And it comes back towards Grant Williams. You then pose... Oh, come on, Grant. Turnover boy here for England. Marcus Smith's kicked in behind. Look at that 50-22. And it's going to slow up slightly here for Cheslin Colby. He's got a bit of space. Looks to bring out that kind of banana kick type of vibe. I don't think it's gone particularly far. Two early areas here from Grant Williams. And, I mean, that was so frustrating. He did really well to get in the air to Currie Lawrence. So winning the contest, and then Grant Williams looking for the offload, just threw it straight back basically into Ronnie Liebach's shoulder. It's a great take though from RKS Neyman. He gets the ball back away from Evan Edsmith, who somehow managed to hold it on. Really good win that, and pick up and go here from RKS Neyman. Throws it out towards, guys, can we communicate a little bit? We've got 15 people going to try to catch the ball at all times here. Great line of win that from RKS Neyman. Right, Ronnie Liebach goes to the boot. That's almost gone backwards. I don't know if there's a bit of wind there, and it's gone to the side. And Currie Lawrence says it comes off England, so he reckons it's knock on. Take the scrum here. Take the scrum. If this is an attacking scrum, well, I say attacking scrum in terms of us having the put in. Then here we go. Can we get our first scrum penalty nice and early? Get that momentum. That's, I think, a couple will get those, couple of scrums we need to get, and just start changing the momentum. At the moment, momentum's all with England in the first 8.5 minutes, but you get a scrum penalty here. I'm not sure who he's talking to the ref or who he's talking to here. Right, at the moment, very, very strong there. Grant Williams asked something, but the starts going on the left-hand side is Grant Williams. Puts the kick in behind. Picked up by Freddie Stewart. He's going to kick in return. Who wants this here? Who wants this? Well, he's almost going to, but fumbled it forward. Yeah, we'll have another scrum. But this time, further up the field. That's why Grant Williams. And then penalty. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I think he's in an offside position there. Early penalty here. There we go. Inside our own half. Kick further downfield. Let's get going. Let's get going. Pretty sure looking to get some, I think, instruction from the referee. I'm entirely sure what the conversation there was all about. Right, into England half we go on the 10-metre line here. First South African line of the day. Lineouts weren't amazing last week, I'm going to be brutally honest. Arceus Neyman now calling them, who's not a natural caller of the line out. Pieter the toy there is going to be a very big point, a part of it. And they go ball over the top to Currie Lawrence. That's a nice little variation. Ball available as well for Grant Williams. Pieter the toy. First real tackling opportunity here for the box with the ball in hand inside the England's half. Now Ebenezer. Nice hard hit there from Ollie Lawrence. On the left-hand side, Wilco Low. Back to Moinebok in the pocket. He goes to the boot. Currie Lawrence is going to give chase. Currie Lawrence wins it up against Marcus Smith. Brilliant work there from Currie Lawrence. Now quick ball needed. Grant Williams decides to go on the left-hand side. Good hands there. Back inside comes Apple to Fassi. Arceus Neyman does well to secure the ruck. Grant Williams decides to show and go himself. Go Grant Williams straight through. Options, not too many options. Oh, step up. Oh, jeez, do it. Sit down. Sit down. Oh, Freddie Stewart, that's terrible. Grant Williams under the poles. The live wire scrum half. That is sensational. Absolutely sensational. Grant Williams, you saw the rush defense, got past one, and then after that, I mean, you look around, and I'm like, where's support? There is no support. He's one man by himself. Bang. There are 1, 2, 3, and then just bang inside, outside of Freddie Stewart. And under the poles he goes. That is electric from Grant Williams. Goodness me. Ellis Gaines, the man, he slips off the tackle. And, oh, no. Freddie Stewart. That's going to be playing on repeat in the Grant Williams household. He sent Freddie Stewart to a different postcode. And Mighty Buck right in front says, let's level this up, boys. Oh, the inside, outside. If that was Anton DuPont, we'd be seeing that all around Twitter. Oh, no. Oh, no, he even gave him the eyes. He gave him the eyes. The disrespect. Well, there we go. 7-7. We had to respond. We had a poor start, but that's now both teams, the first real attacking opportunity they've had. They found a try. So 7-7 after 12 minutes. They go pretty short once again to England, and they've knocked it back. Ball's gone loose. Why are we on a spider cam angle here? I can't see what's actually going on. England have got possession. Jack from Portley goes over the top and puts South Africa back inside our own 22. One of those things where apparently we've paid for a spider cam, therefore we have to use the spider cam. Right, now big line of this 10 meters out from our try line. Bongi Mnami needs to be accurate here. We've got a four-man line formed, I think, here. We've got Eben Etzebeth, Jasper Visa, Arceus Neyman. I'm not sure who's in behind Arceus. It is Pierce the toy. Ball over the top. It goes to Arceus Neyman. Down to Grant Williams. Wasn't the best pass, to be honest. And Wilco Low rolls off of Jamie George. Does very well as Wilco Low. Creates a nice angle here for Grant Williams. Goes back to Marty Lebok in the pocket. And Marty Lebok looking for touch here. Up against touchdown was... Oh, I tell you what. Almost make a hash of it, does Tommy Slaytome. He knocks it backwards. Now Freddie Stewart wants to run. And he almost gets through. Eventually brought down by Oxen Chair. England back on the front foot here. It is Genge. Show and go. That's really good work. That's really good work from Jasper Visa. Good appreciation of the laws. Couple players over that. Surely a counter rack coming in here. Ball available for England. It was really good work that from Jasper Visa. You saw that there was no rack and went through. Competing at the breakdown now is Peter Steff the toy. Oh, what a turnover that is. Now he decides to penalise him. There's no call not to use it. I think, yeah, he's gone over the top there, Peter Steff the toy. It's pretty silly from him. To be fair, looking at the breakdown, I think we could actually have some success there. A couple of times in that phase. Right, Boxman's going to take the points here, by the way. After already 15 minutes in. What a 15 minutes it has been. I should start clocking these games as Strava workouts, you know. Right, HJH saying in the comments saying they need to put the boot down now and keep it on until the game ends. No soft moments, no shitty passes, no brain fades. Well, we just had a bit of a brain fade over there. But Peter saying, well, Williams looked nervous for the start, but he made up for that. Yeah, 100%. And Marcus Smith has slotted that home. So England will go back into the lead with a 3 points there. Silly from Peter Steph, the toy. Didn't really need to do that. Well, we've got quite a good game in our hand yet. Right, Mighty Buck, where's he going to go with the kickoff? Goes down the left-hand side, just outside the 22. Lots of chases there. And once again, it's quite a messy kickoff, but Ben Earl does come away with it. But we are competing quite well at the kickoffs, which is a nice change. Often we go quite deep. I mean, Eben Etzebeth, I must say, he looked so telegraphed. Eben Etzebeth now on Marcus Smith off the charge down. Marcus Smith's kick is charged down, and that's going to hold up. But I tell you what, Peter Steph, that toy is over for a try. Charge down on Jack van Portleed. Charge down on Marcus Smith. Peter Steph, the toy, says, thank you very much. Telegraphed, and that is intensity. He looked like he was taking A's there to Jack van Portleed. I mean, as he took it, Eben Etzebeth was on so quickly, it looked like he was on for the charge down. On he was. Lots of pressure. Marcus Smith now had no other options, and then bang, Peter Steph, the toys there. He thought, and luckily, the bounce of the rugby ball, literally up against touchline and just bounces back inside. It's going towards them. It's just straight at the final second. Peter Steph, the toy, dives on it. South Africa back in front. Kick to come. Goodness me, this is mental. Absolutely mental. Right, Marnie up towards the touchline. Come on, slot this, Marnie. Where the hate is that? Slot this. It's just off the upright. Just needed to straighten slightly. Oh, he times it so well as Eben Etzebeth. Bang. There's the charge down, and then Marcus Smith has no other option. He's got a Peter Steph's toy running down on him, and he throws his hands in the air. Oh, jeepers me. Could we see another World Player of the Year nomination for Peter Steph, the toy? They go short here, and Jesse Creel's going to go up. Takes it very, very well. Down the right-hand side. As I said, I don't know why and that ball's been ripped, but into Arceus Neyman's hands. He's got a bit of space in front of him, and he's got a decent turn of pace to Arceus Neyman. Pops it up to Sia Khaleesi. Looking for options, inside options to Grant Williams. The box into England territory, past Timmy line. Bongi Manambi at scrum off, goes to Wilco Low. Wilco Low gets past one. Eventually brought down by a couple. Ball available for Grant Williams. Jasper Wiese comes back on the angle. Be very used to playing in England. Oh, gee, but just bounced off a couple as Jasper Wiese. Rolling it back like he's in the Premiership. Quick ball here from Grant Williams. Mainiebok goes to Damon Delendi. Damon Delendi. Eventually brought down. Buys himself enough time. I mean, he's got a penalty advantage here for the box. What do we want to do with the options here? Grant Williams digging for that ball. Wants to chip over the top for Cheslin Colby to give chase. And he's left it behind there, as Freddie Stewart. Cheslin Colby has come away with it. On the 22 here are the box. Ball available for Grant Williams. Now, Fassia first receiver goes back to Liebok. Liebok goes to the right-hand side. And it'll be fielded. We'll go back for the penalty. Multi-faceted attack. That's what we just saw there. From a couple of kicks in there, the chip over the top. The Arceus Neyman offload game, always really good. High tackle is the call. Go back for the penalty. Go for the line. Go for the line here. We've got some momentum. Let's start notching up a couple of tries. It's up there on Grant Williams. Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it's around there. I don't know why he's really complaining as Will Stewart. Quite clearly a high tackle on Grant Williams. I don't think we'll take the points. I'd be very surprised. We might take the points. I would like us to go to the corner here. Yeah, and we are going to go to the corner. Love the work here, boys. Love the attitude. Marnie Ebok off his left foot, by the way. The only scrum off, the foul half we've got in the country that kicks off both feet, left and right. There's Marnie Ebok. Kieran O'Connor, he's right. He's right. Saying Ox's World Player of the Year, simply not a question. I agree. I'm all in on Ox. We're all in on Ox for that World Player of the Year. I think the nomination actually come out on Monday, to be honest. Now that we say that. Bongi Manambi goes over the top to Damien Delendi. I don't think that was the plan, but Damien Delendi's come away with it very well. Box 10 meters out. Grant Williams goes to Pieter-Steph the toy. Sam Underhill getting there nice and quickly. Always good to see him back after the injury struggles he's had. Eben Etzebeth pops it short to Arceus Neymar, makes a yard or two. Underhill has to leave it. Slow ball now for Grant Williams. Eben Etzebeth. Penalty advantage for the Boks. To the corner once again, boys. This time on the 5 meter. Let's go. Let's go. Well, let's do that as a poll, should we do? World Player of the Year between Oxen and Pieter-Steph the toy. I'm actually just going to do it as a Bok question. Who has been the best Springbok performer in 2024? Your options being Pieter-Steph the toy and Oxen Chair. Very interesting to see how this poll goes, actually. Right, Bongi Manami with ball in hand. Arceus Neymar over there, but the ball goes out. They go short to Arceus Neymar, looking for the rolling more. He's going to go over here, but I don't know if he's going to get recycle the ball. Yeah, the ball is available there. Pieter-Steph the toy, he breaks and goes. Lots of England bodies there. Not sure if that ball's going to come out. Yep, another penalty advantage here. Sia Khaleesi wants to pop it up to Wilco Low. Now he wants to go himself to Sia Khaleesi. He's scored quite a few tries this year, actually. Grant Williams, he goes to Mighty Buck. Mighty Buck's going to go to the cross kick towards Cheslin Colby. It's a pretty good one. Cheslin Colby, oh, come on. Come on. It's too easy. It's too easy. Inside he steps, does Cheslin Colby. The cross kick, as expected from Mighty Buck. Inch perfect. And Colby just waits for it. Bang, steps inside the man. Over he goes. Try number 3. As soon as you've got that penalty advantage, Mighty Buck, bang. And he's just hugging the touchline as Colby. He steps back inside. I mean, he's running onto the ball as it hits to Freddie Stewart coming to try and cover him. Oh, it's so good. So good. Freddie Stewart had no chance to try and actually compete for the cross kick. The only thing he could try and do is tackle Colby. And Colby just, bang, blinks and he's gone. Let's cook, boys. Let's cook. And he's nailed the conversion as well. Here we go, boys. Right, 19 points to 10 off 23 minutes. And they go short to England, but it comes back away to Sia Khaleesi, who takes it very well. Come on, boys, another one. Another one. Got to keep the pressure up here. Pieter-Steph the toy. That's a nice carry. I tell you, the Boks all of a sudden are up for it after a bit of a dodgy first 10 minutes. And Grant Williams goes ahead. Eben Etzebeth after it, as does Cheslin Colby. Eben Etzebeth goes out. The ball comes forward off of Freddie Stewart. Oh, the hands. Hands. JC Creel solves a bit of a dummy. Up against the left-hand side there. Box scrambling to make that ball available. Oh, no. Mighty Buck's down. Doesn't look very happy as Mighty Buck. Oh, that'll be heartbreaking. Up, Mighty, up. I'm hoping he's just winded. I think he is just winded. He is up and looks alright. Oh, penalty, yeah. I think it's for sealing off. As Wilco Low gone off his feature. High tackle. It's been a high tackle. We had the ball. Cheslin Colby's getting a bit of treatment here. Up in the fuss is also very confused. It's a bit, we're not quite entirely sure what the penalty here is for. So Liebach is down and receiving a bit of treatment. Marcus Smith, meanwhile, has gone to the corner here. He's going to be okay to continue his money. Quite a late tackle there from Ollie Lawrence. I think he was just winded, was Molly Liebach, actually, from that tackle. Okay, just don't concede yet, boys. We just scored 2 quick, fast tries. Let's not concede now. Off the back goes Sam, inside ball to Freeman. George Martin. Good carry from him. Very good carry from him, actually. England are 5 minutes out. Mario Toje. He keeps jumping into the tackle. He's driven back. It would be nice if the referee actually watched him. Mark Smith back in the pocket, by the way, I think he was. Now they move to the right-hand side. Back to George Martin. Currie Lawrence wants to try and get over that ball. Unsuccessfully. Jack from Porty looks for options. Going through the phases now. Ben Earl knocked backwards. Good defenses from the box. Need to remain disciplined. Short goes. Oh, Underhill gets through a gap and he's just shies over. That's so poor. So poor. Who is this? This is an individual error. Massive hole open. Sam Underhill. It is Underhill, I suppose. Comes down a gap and gets through. And this will be 17-19. That is awful defense. It's initially a very good carry of George Martin, Chandler Cunningham, South, and Monty Liebach, who eventually brings them down. But where's this angle over here? Yeah, Volko low. He gets in between the two props, Volko low and Oxen Chair. More Volko low than Oxen Chair, to be honest. Yeah, that's very, very frustrating. To switch off like a moment like that. All right, Marcus Smith to make a 2-point game, and he does make a 2-point game. Boys. I mean, if there's one player who's going to score for England, I don't mind when it's Sam Underhill. I'm a big fan of his. Very, very good rugby brain. You can just see Oxen Chairs just getting off out the back of that ruck there, and Volko is probably the man who has to do better there. Desperate defense from Mongi Manambi and Ox, but they just can't hold him up from that average. Once again, we compete for the kickoff, and Ben Earl comes away with it, but it's been competitive. Kickoffs have been very, very good from the box. Now, Jamie George. So, in fact, I think it's actually Sam Underhill once again. Or did Jamie George? I think actually Jamie George got the offload away to Sam Underhill in contact. He's been charged down again, has Jack from Portleet. Marcus Smith running away from it now. Short pass to Ollie Lawrence. Bit of an overlap here. I love that for Khaleesi saying to Chase and go, I've got this. Now kick over the top comes, and that's still going to be too far. And he'll just dot that down with Apple Varsity. That's another charge down from Ibn Etzbeth on Jack van Portleet. You'd think you'd learn, but apparently not. It's too predictable from Jack van Portleet. Far too predictable. Robin's saying Sam Underhill and George Martin are the only players that would have hope making the South Africa team. Interesting shout, actually, which of these England players would make a South African squad. I think Marcus Smith would have would probably be in and around the mix. Chandler Cunningham South runs into Bongi Manambi. Just inside the 22 here in England. What a first half it's been. Ollie Lawrence. Eventually brought down by Grant Williams. Marcus Smith inside ball to Underhill, brought down by Oxen Chair. Mario Toje now. Good hands from England. Very good hands, but a good tackle there. He's going to lose that forward. Yeah, great tackle from Currie Lawrence. We'll take the scrum. All right, nice tackle that. Come, lads. Scrum penalty, kick them back into their half. That is the plan here. People, that needs to be the plan. It was half an hour into the game, just 2 points between the two sides, and frustrating, very, very frustrating. That first try was very annoying to concede, just in terms of when it was in the game, and second try. But again, it's about identifying the mismatches. And first try for England, Mark Smith does very well. Looks up, sees that there's a couple of props and a couple of forwards in front of him. Reckon backs himself against them, creates the overlap. Jason Colby is desperately trying to make the cover defense, can't make the tackle. Second try, again, it's a mismatch. There's a massive hole. Volko Low is the man that's occupying the line there, and Sam Angel just comes inside of him, and it's far too easy for him to get through there. Couple of members, latest members to the Forever Sports Members Club. Welcome to Ntando, who has joined the Forever Legend. And our latest Forever fan is Bela Stradum. So welcome to the Forever Sports Members Club. Yeah, there's our first scrum penalty. It was always going to come. It was always going to come. It's a bold call from David Walker to say so easy to score tries against the Boks when they statistically are probably the best defensive side in the world this year. But by all means, chap. Only team, by the way, last weekend not to concede a try. Well, that's what Volko Low's decided to do, to win scrum penalties. So there's his first one. Need many more of those, chap. Front of the line, Eben Etzebeth, Grant Williams. Goes himself as Grant Williams. Finds more space as Grant Williams. This time, very well tackled by Tommy Freeman. Turnover is good, though. It was very isolated with Grant Williams. George Martin, but they're right by the 22 here are England. Good tackle that from Jasper Wiese. Mario Toje. Tackle coming from Peter Steph the Toy. Right, Jack from Portland is going to go to the booth this time, not charged down when Eben Etzebeth, who was lurking. And a test here for Apelid Fassi, who's locked it on and out. Not good that from Apelid Fassi. Got up nicely, but I think he actually missed time in the end. Was slightly nowhere when the ball came down. What a season he's had, though, Apelid Fassi. Here we go, not really in the Bok mix. And now, becoming difficult to leave out. Good line that time. Chaddy South takes it well. Now inside ball. Always finds a bit of space. Brought down by Oxen Chair. Jack from Portley goes back to Marcus Smith. Marcus Smith wants to go. Well, it's actually been charged down. And Jesse Creel's underneath it. Takes it well. Using those fullback years to his advantage. Grant Williams now goes to Apelid Fassi. Brings up that left boot. Sends it quite deep down the throat of Marcus Smith. Who's got Tommy Freeman to his right. Does go to Tommy Freeman. He wants to go around Eben Etzebeth. Not quite that simple. Ben Earl now. It is Genge. Pops it out to Marcus Smith. Marcus Smith with a bit of space. Marcus Smith. Good tackle that from Apelid Fassi. Good scramble defense this now. And see a bit of space in behind. That is an awful kick from Ollie Lawrence. Absolutely awful. You saw the space in behind, but he's just hammered it straight, and it's actually ended up dead in touch. So, yeah, very, very weird kick from Ollie Lawrence. Yeah, I'm looking at the tackle from Apelid Fassi. No issues whatsoever, shoulder to shoulder. Right, so 22, well, it's goal line dropout now for the Boks. We've got 7 minutes left of the half. No, there goes Oxen Chair. He's limping off. He's got a cut on his knee. I don't know if the cut's the issue here. I think it is the cut, yeah. So it's a bit of a gash on his knee. Okay, so well, to be fair, a couple of stitches off you go. So Gerard Stenner comes onto the park. Just lost our best player this year. Well, according to our poll, second best player. Although if I could vote, I'd vote for Oxen Chair. Right, Gerard Stenner comes onto the park. His first game in the UK. I lied. Came on last week. I'm being stupid. Right, Monibok goes to the left-hand side. Oh, I tell you what, Jesse Creel did really well. They knocked it on, unfortunately, but almost got in front of the England defence. Right, Mark Smith options. Goes to the cross kick in behind. Chesden Colby very, very quick to mark it. And then sends it downfield as Chesden Colby. Oh, my goodness. That is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal from Chesden Colby. He marked it, took it quickly, and he's put England back past their 10-metre line for a line-out. That is brilliant. He's so good, is Chesden Colby. We might not ever see a player like him again, to be honest, in terms of just the all-round skill set within the Cyphers and the type of player he is. Brilliant stuff there from Chesden Colby. Come, lads, one more try before half-time here. Well, it's a horrible line-out, and Sam Underhill, I think, has somehow managed to bring it down. I'm not sure what was going on there with England's line-out. Absolutely awful. And Jack van Portleed now will clear the lines. Eben Etzebeth there again, and not far away either. Chesden Colby comes up. Oh, brilliant take. What was I saying about him? Grant Williams there. Goes to Bongi Manambi. Bongi Manambi takes contact. Grant Williams goes to Fassi. Fassi goes to the boot, and Kurt Lawrence is going to give chase here. And Freddie Stewart takes it well, but Jesse Creel's there to make the tackle. England back with possession, and that's a horrible pass. Good take on the answer from Ellis Genji, who goes himself, gets hammered in the tackle. I tell you what, Jack van Portleed, I think, is a little bit rattled here. A couple of bad passes, 2 charge down kicks. Back, Marcus Smith goes to the boot, and Martin Liebach is called for this one. Comes back from Martin Liebach, and Damien Delendi's taken it well. Ref. Yeah, thank you. Grant Williams goes to Gerard Stennekamp, his first carry of the day. Back to Martin Liebach. He goes to the boot. Kurt Lawrence running into space. Once again, Kurt Lawrence versus Freddie Stewart. Well taken from Freddie Stewart, and he gets away from the tackle. Jesse Creel's time. A bit of space in front of Freddie Stewart. Chips him behind. There's a bit of a race on here. Martin Liebach's going to hopefully win it. He does win it. Jeepers me. That was very, very close to being horrible. Martin Liebach had to get back there. Had to hustle. It's a good take from Freddie Stewart, and then just so much space in front of him. Yeah, it's the textbook take. I think the biggest issue there, the Springbok defense, just, you see, slips the tackle of Jesse Creel, then all of a sudden he's got so much space. Fassi makes the call there to go to the left, but you got Peter Steff to toy, then Martin Liebach has to get back there. Oh, actually, I don't know who this comes off last. Yeah, so Tommy Freeman tries to take it, almost puts it against Martin Liebach, so it'll be an England line 5 metres out. Pressure now for the box. Less than 5 minutes on the clock. What a half this has been. I mean, yeah, as a neutral, you must be absolutely loving this. As a Bok fan, I'm entirely happy. We should be, when we went 19-10 up, we really should have taken it up a gear, and we've let them back in the game. It's actually a scrum, by the way. So it's a scrum South Africa ball. So they're judging a knock-on there from Tommy Freeman. So this is a nice break for us. Scrum penalty here would relieve a lot of pressure. Come on, lads. Big scrum. Yeah, first scrum for Gerard Stennekamp. It's gone down. We're going to have a reset. Ref cam's quite interesting. You see Bongi Manami's having a chat with the officials saying, listen, what's going on now on their side. So first scrum here for Hero Stedekamp. Come on, lads. Big scrum here. Win the scrum penalty. Get us further down the park. And let's get back to business. Let's try it for half time just to knock the wind out of the English sails. Yeah, there's the penalty. Thank you very much. Just what we wanted. Just what the doctor ordered. 6 meters out. Scrum penalty. Wilco Low says, thank you very much. That's why I'm here, boys. They didn't fly me out for no reason. That's a big scrum penalty. It was under a lot of pressure. And I'm only wanting to find a good touch finder. Let's get further out the park. And let's get back into this game, yeah, boys. It's decent. It looks pretty decent for mine, but I'm not sure how far we've gone. We have found. I was hoping that Sage Insight was going to tell me how many meters we had progressed from that kick. About chips over the top here for Kurt Lawrence. So Kurt Lawrence, well taken from Tommy Freeman, but a couple of players over there. Surely that'll be a penalty. Is a penalty. Sia Khaleesi, Jasper Visa, straight over there. And he wants to take the kicking tee as Marnie Bok. Try and extend the lead. Yeah, good work there from Jasper Visa. Big tackle comes from Sia Khaleesi. Jasper Visa straight over that ball and says, thank you very much. So the penalty, and Marnie Bok is going to hopefully knock over the 3. Extend that lead. We'll probably still receive a kickoff. Yeah, nice little work there from the captain, from the skipper. Skipper and Jasper. Sporting them with the moustache. Yeah, I never know whether I should be offended or I should take it as a compliment. People start comparing me to Jasper Visa whenever you ever let them know. He's pushed that wide. Oh, come on, Marnie. And this is the problem, isn't it? You've got to be able to take those 3 points. Right, we've still got an opportunity here, though. It's a line out just outside the 22, so box in the front 4, 30 seconds to go. Come on, chaps. Create something here. Good take that for PSF. The 20. Sia Khaleesi goes to Grant Williams. Goes short to Jasper Visa in the midfield. Guns over Ben Earl. I think he managed to get back to his feet and have another go. Grant Williams. Bongi Manambi on a good angle. Ah, Earburn! It's a horrendous knock forward. Terrible, terrible. And England take it and put it in. Right, 19 points to 17. And Box in the lead, but not the dominant performance we really wanted to see. Should have had more points there. Frustrating to have missed that penalty right towards the end for my Box. But, not a bad half. Lots of positives there. But, yeah, got to be a little bit more accurate in the second half. Right, we'll see what happens after the break. Please don't go away. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. And we'll see you guys in a bit. Right, and we are back, and second half about to get underway shortly. Very interesting first half. I felt like probably needs to have been a bit further ahead. And look, yeah, and to be honest, it's an interesting. I mean, it's the standard debate, isn't it? As soon as Miley Bucket misses a kick, that's the reason that we're going to lose, for example. And it's just it's a very boring debate at the end of the day, because we missed 3 points, correct? We also missed the tackle for a try, which conceded 7 points, and got defensive system wrong as well, which conceded 7 points. And Peter the Toy makes a stupid error that concedes 3 points. That doesn't get spoken about. So that's the 17 points that England, for example, won. So, no one's going to speak about Volko Low missing the tackle, which resulted in 7 missed kick, for example. We're going to talk about the 3 points Marty Liebach, well, 5 points with the conversion. We also want to talk about the 7 points he created with the cross kick. So that's the standard and once again, I'll tell you what we've done very well is we've kicked really well at the kickoff, and we've once again won it off the kickoff. So I'm not going to get too much of the Marty Liebach conversation. We'll talk about that after the game. But Jasper Fisa making a good break down the line into the 22 here. Let's see what we can conjure up early on in the second half. Yeah, brilliant start here from the box. Grant Williams, Bongi Manambi. Volko Low. Into 22 here. Grant Williams. No change, by the way, for the box. Besides that Gerard Stennekamp one with Oxen Chair having gone off with a cut knee. Eben Etzebeth now. Cheslin Colby around the racks here. Because steps back inside. Cheslin Colby straight through. No, but I'm pretty sure this time doesn't make the same mistake. Gets the offload away to Aplele Fassi. Box 10 meters out. That's a bit of an unorthodox pass from Grant Williams, who basically NFL pass to Jasper Wiese, who gets away from a couple of defenders. Cheslin Colby absolutely electric today. Right, Marnie Bach goes to Damien Delendi. Damien Delendi will chip over the top. Silly. Not the right option, that from Damien Delendi. Really poor. It's a great break from Jason Colby. He's just so electric. The acceleration from a standing start to get away from Jamie George there was mental. Right, here comes Vincent Koch, by the way, for Volko Low. So the first, I mean, it's the weirdest thing. I mean, we've been playing for less than 2 minutes when we make the change. It's bizarre. Never quite understand what's cooking there with Umarasi, but we're never gonna question him, are we? And Volko Low's first game back comes to an end after 42 minutes. Good scrummaging game, not great in the loose, but I suppose that's kind of Volko Low, isn't it? His genius is in the scrum. So not a bad debut back. A couple of scrum penalties which are important, to be fair. Right, Moneyball goes flat to Jasper Wiese. Jasper Wiese in the midfield. He's had a bright start to the second half. Quick ball here from Grant Williams. Damien Delendi. Aplele Fassi. Currie on the inside, yo. This is going to have to be a try. It's Currie Arnston. Oh my goodness, he's going all the way into the corner. Easy as you like, boys. Come on. I'm busy looking at is the inside ball on you for Fassi? Is my box there with support? How slick was that? Nice crash ball. Liebach to Jasper Wiese straightens. Then Damien Delendi. So much space out wide. How easy. Far too easy, to be honest. If I'm the England defence coach, look at this. Bang. It's the Aplele Fassi line, and then that long pass. I mean, what's he doing? Why is he coming inside? And at one stage, I thought the inside ball was going to be on back to Fassi, but it's... see over here. Tommy Freeman commits, and Freddie Stewart, once again, he's been caught on the outside. I tell you what. I did say, when they announced the team, I said Freddie Stewart doesn't scare me as a player as much as George Furbank does. And unfortunately, that look of Stewart watching a player going past him has become quite a standard one in this game. So if we're looking at team review here, I think we're looking at the pass from Aplele Fassi and did it go forward. Direction of the hands will be questionable here. 50-50, I reckon, from Fussy. I think it might be slightly forward here. This could be Epi chalked off. No try is the call. Ah! That sucks. That sucks. No try, forward pass, go back for the scrum. Ah, it's so annoying. So annoying. I think there was a penalty advantage. I think we'll actually have a penalty, but yeah, that could have. Yeah, there's a penalty for the box. So no, not too much harm done. Martin Liebach will put us into the 22 now. So the try is chalked off. That scoreboard will update back to 19. There it is. Very annoying. Bongi Manambi goes to Arcus Neyman. Are we going to see the rolling more? I don't think he got down there really at Arcus Neyman. Bongi Manambi decides to use it. Pops it short to Damien Delendi. Nice carry from him. How is that? Yeah, but Bongi Manambi's asking if he's supporting the feet. Benno has won a penalty on the ground. Yeah, like, I don't think it's really supporting your weight, but anyway. Scott Bowie's been going on about England the entire stream, and the fact that he said should have been England penalty for forward pass probably sums up his entire day. Tough day in the office, chap. Tough day in the office. Line there goes to Mario Toje. And breaks off this Chandler Cunningham himself, being brought down by Arcus Neyman. We'll be interested to see if Arcus Neyman goes the distance today, by the way. We don't actually have a locker place on the bench, so it's whether PST have to twitch just back to the lock or whether the locks go the full distance. Good take that from Ches and Colby under the high ball. Ref, there's zero. There's no release, Mr. Ref. They're all part of the tackle. So back-to-back penalties here for England. I want to see this again, though. Because I'm pretty sure George Martin here. Yeah, so who's involved in the tackle? Jamie George or Sam Underhill? So where's the release there from Sam Underhill? That's my question. They're going for the line out showing. They're turning down the 3 points. Marcus Smith. I think it should be just outside. Yeah, here we go. Here comes Andre Pollard here and Malcolm Marks. Right, now Pollard needs a much better game than he had last weekend. So Malcolm Marks on as well as... Damon Delendi actually thought he was off, by the way. I wonder if they had actually trained that done that in training, that Damon Delendi would go off and Pollard would go to 12. That was actually very interesting. Because Pollard had to say to Damien, no, you're staying on. Brody Moyer coming from England. They've progressed a couple. Here's the stop. Where's the one stop? From Portland uses it. Goes to Henry Slade. That's somebody we haven't seen at all today. Well, that's a horrible pass. Grant Williams all over him. Lost a bit of momentum there, have England. Van Portley now. Chandler Cunningham himself. Back in the pocket, Mark Smith goes to the right-hand side. It's into the 22. Up here fast, he should be able to mark this if he can get it. Oh, it's taken by Tommy Freeman. And just short there is Jamie George. Chandler Cunningham himself looks to pick up and go. Goes to Ollie Lawrence. Good tackle there. Cunningham south, got to Underhill, goes himself to Channing coming south, shuts the door, does Malcolm Marks to Sia Khaleesi. England on the doorstep here. Just short there. Ball available for Ben Earl. 9 phases here from England. They go once again, but Box away to the threat once again. Van Portley now goes to Marcus Smith. Marcus Smith on the bounce. And there's so much space out wide. Why is there so much space out wide? It's Henry Slade. I mean, Henry Slade, by the way, I actually didn't know he was playing. Didn't even know he was playing, to be honest. And he's gone over and scored a try. England ahead early in the first half. I'm still very confused about the lack of clear release needed from both of those. And then just everybody been sucked in. And Marcus Smith's first pass wasn't great. Pollard comes in and then a long pass out wide to Henry Slade. And there's just acres and acres and acres of space. Oh, might they look at the pass? They are going to look at the pass. Yeah, well, we had a pass to look at. How about you look at your own pass? Looking at potential neck roll. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what we're looking at here. We're not looking at a breakdown from Malcolm Marks. So Mario Tojo and Malcolm Marks. I think it's a neck roll there. So that could be power play. It could actually be turnover penalty box. Right, what are we going to say? Yep. Clear neck roll from Mori Itoje. Don't cry for me, Mori Itoje. Try, disallowed, and penalty for the box. We got away with that one. Big let off there. Yeah, so Jamie George complaining about the other foul play. Yeah, Jamie George having a lot to bitch about. Away. Right, it's penalty for the box. Big let off there. Now we need to make this count. We actually even need to look at the forward pass in the end. So, to be fair, it could have been chalked off for the forward pass. And Pollard finds touch. Right, now here we go. Rukhan Dickey onto the park. Jamie George was playing like 70, basically full 80s back when they had Theo Dan. Now Rukhan Dickey's back. They do generally something a bit earlier. That's the first horrendous lineup from Malcolm Marks. Goodness me, that's poor. And Ben Earl in the midfield. Slade off, by the way, for Roebuck, the youngster. Get his Genge inside ball here from Marcus Smith. Lawrence now to Etzebeth, bumps over Etzebeth, eventually brought down by Archie Snell. And England with their tails up at the moment. Marcus Smith looking for options. Good tackle that from, I think it's Grant Williams has come through. Very good tackle on him. Come, lads. Bit of intensity here. It is Genge now. George Martin. Back to the pocket goes Marcus Smith. Now he puts this deep. That's far too deep. And Roger Pollard should be able to mark this. Does mark. Oh, he doesn't mark it, in fact. Keeps it alive. And Grant Williams with space. Goes to Jasper Wiese. Penalty for obstruction. Come on, guys. We've seen that ref a lot. A lot. I mean, that is nonsense. I mean, Jesse Creel, what's he supposed to do? I don't see. This is the thing. They've got to relook at this. I really like the changing angle shot. Jesse Creel is running back there, and the whole thing is now, if you slow down, for example, then you get penalized. It's mental. It is absolutely mental. So Jesse Creel's ping base because he's running back and then basically, in theory, slowed down. And basically, the problem with the rule change is it's so easy to manipulate. So basically, you can run there and all he does is he looks down, he sees Jesse Creel, he pushes him over and says, referee's in my way. And bang. So that's how easily that rule can be manipulated. You know what the funny thing is when someone says, stop it, you talk nonsense, that was not a neck roll? Well, the referee, the TMO, they've all looked at it on the big screen and they've all decided it's a neck roll. So don't hate the messenger. Not my fault you disagree with the referees on what was quite a clear neck roll. And England are making an absolute hash of the kickoff. Their kickoffs today have been appalling. It is a knock-on advantage here for South Africa. Grant Williams. And the referee is eventually going to award. I'm going to have the scrum. Big opportunity here, boys. Scrum penalty. Go to the corner. And more try. That's what I'd like to see. Another charge. So Jack van Portley's kicking goes straight to Malcolm Marks and then gets left behind. He's had a bit of a shocker. Every single time Jack van Portley's gone to the boot, it's gone into a Springbok player. Right, come. Big scrum here, boys. Big scrum here. That's gone down. We have to have a reset. New front row here for the Boks. Luke Cowan-Dickey on for England. But I don't think Finn Baxter or Dan Cole is on. Dan Cole's still playing. What a legend. Decent podcaster here as well. That For the Love podcast. Good fun, actually. Him and Ben Youngs. So basically a neck roll is when you go into the ruck, you kind of go in and grab the person's head and then you kind of like roll with yourself or you bring it down basically. Bring him down by the neck. A croc roll is when you go down, basically try and flip the person. You kind of put your weight onto their leg. So their leg kind of like folds inwards basically. I don't know if that actually helps at all with any of those actions. Probably not. That's the first scrum penalty for England. I think it's against Gerard Stennekamp. Yeah, he crossed back quite quickly. Very frustrating because that should have been a big opportunity for us to attack. Right, come on, boys. If you'd ever do a bit of a little line-out steal here, it'd be quite nice to do it. Well, and Arsenal, you shall receive. We do steal the line-out, and Sia Khaleesi in the midfield goes to Damien Delendi. We're going back for a skew. I think it was double knock-on was the call. First knock coming from England, then South Africa. So we have another scrum here. Another opportunity for Chaos Denenkamp to have a go here. Ibn makes a... Yeah, so it comes forward off of Chandler Cunningham South, then forward of Arcus Name into the hands of Vincent Koch. Go back for the scrum. And now it's penalty for Nebenetze knocking the hand from Chandler Cunningham South. Not that it actually ended up making much of a difference, but yes, that's very, very, very sloppy. Okay, well, I'm glad somebody appreciated the explanation. I was busy watching myself do it. I was like, there's no way this is helping anyone. But hopefully it does help. Hopefully that explains kind of the concept. I can't need somebody else. Need like a dummy or something and start doing neck rolls on the stream here. Chaps, it's been 15 minutes and we've not scored any points. We've not really even looked like scoring. Well, I suppose we had a try chalked off. But apart from that 2-minute section, we've not been very good this half. Right, flat. Oh, back to the bloody spider cam angle. Looks like a decent tackle, I would assume. I mean, back on the ball over the top. Can we flip and change the aim angle? And Chesney Colby, I think, has knocked it forward back into England's hands. Knock on advantage, kicking behind. Fussy returns the favour. Knock on advantage over, obviously, as soon as he kick. Back to Marcus Smith. He's got 4 lads on the left-hand side. He's going to go to the boot. He's put that quite long. And Pollard should have... yeah, takes it well. Bit of pressure there from Tommy Freeman. Gets up. Grant Williams goes to Jasper Wiese. So a good half so far is Jasper Wiese. Now Grant Williams is going to go to the boot. Ibn Etzebeth, Sia Khaleesi and Chesney Colby giving a good answer, giving chase. Ibn Etzebeth there first. Big counter coming as well, but they eventually do secure it to England. Penalty box for going past the hands off, well, going off his feet basically is the call there. Nice big let off, well, not let off, but an opportunity here, boys. Come on, wake up here, lads. It's not like we've been bad this half, we just haven't quite been there. Da-da-da. Right, what's the decision here? Are we going for points or are we going for the corner? I'd imagine going for the corner. He is taking the points against Andre Pollard. Quite similar to what we saw a year ago with the famous "This is for South Africa" kick. Right, Pollard, can he give South Africa the lead here? It's pretty good. He's got the distance off the crossbar and over. Cheap as me. That is margins. Oh my goodness. Cheap as me. That was a cat's whiskers distance away from being short. Right, Henry said back at the pot. They go short to do England, and Jesse Creel manages to, I think he knocks it back to Sia Khaleesi. So Boks do retain the kickles. Very interesting to see how many variation kickles we're seeing from different teams actually in the alternate series. I think we might actually have to look at that in our analysis show that's coming up on Monday. It's a good take from Freddie Stewart. It's why he's there, I suppose. Dan Cole onto the park. Slade back on. So must have been a blood bin or an HIA. Front Portley goes to the boot. Fussy, good under the high ball. Very nice work from him. Now Jasper Wiese. Had a lot more to do in the second half as Jasper Wiese. Much better with the ball in hand. Pollard now goes to the boot. Kurt Lawrence and Damien Delindi will give chase. And that's a fair contest, as the referee. Ball comes back the box. Boos echo around because Freddie Stewart came off worst best. But to be fair, I think it's a pretty 50. Grant! He's knocked it on. Come on, man. It's a fair contest in the air, to be fair. And I think it's going to be a penalty against Craig Irons for taking the man in the air. And that's going to be Grant Williams' final involvement, by the way, which is a knock-on. So I think we're emptying the bench here. Looks like Quacker Smith's on. Looks like Kubas Ryan is going to come on for Grant Williams. Oh dear. It's getting far too close for my liking. Right, so there's a penalty for taking man out in the air here. Kubas Ryan does replace Grant Williams, so he'll see out the final 20 minutes. Quacker Smith on. I'm not entirely sure if he's on for Sia, I'd imagine. No, that looks like Sia's still on. Is Peter Steph the Toy still on? Is Jasper Wiese still on? I think that's Jasper. So I think he's on for Peter Steph the Toy, which is quite an interesting change. And England also changing their scrum off here, by the way. So last 20 minutes, and it's going to go to the benches now. Ben Spencer on. Channing Cunningham Sal takes it, and they'll go to the more here, but it's well defended from the box. It'll be first call here. No change of the call. Of course, right now gets involved. I'll tell you what, they actually could be through the middle here, could the box. No, England eventually do manage to retain possession. They've got the ball available, but it's a good sack from the box. Dan Cole pops up to Mario Toje. Malcolm Marks, Quacker Smith will be lurking. Yeah, you can see there's Malcolm Marks lurking. That's Albert Lowe onto the park as well. So I think Jasper Wiese and PSF the Toil, that's very, very interesting changes to make. So see at least going to... there's Malcolm trying to get over that ball. And winning the ball. As I said, he's lurking. He's lurking. He's always lurking. Oh, I think he's had something to say as well. Love the work there, Malcolm. That was something to say. Point at someone. Call them out. Call them out. Right, off to the England half we go. Decent touch found in that from Hondre. And you can just see he's always lurking in and around that ruck. And here it is. Steps back inside. And he's so good. You have to wait for that right ruck. And this is over here. Albert Lowe, an Arcus Neyman. Make a good tackle. He shifts. Vincent Kochio Stenenkamp over there. Kubas Ryan now goes to Andre Pollard. Goes to Quacker Smith almost through the gap. On for Jasper Wiese. I'm very shocked that Sia Khalid is going to go the full distance. He very rarely plays a full 80. Had another good game though, Sia. And he's straight through. He goes Damien Lindy. Space to the right. To Cheslin Colby. Colby comes inside. Oh, he's going to go all the way. Surely. Surely. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Let's cook. Let's cook. Try number 2 for one. Cheslin Colby. Into the corner. And this is good. David Lindy. Bang. Look at the strength through. Boom. Bang. Burst through 2 defenders. Then he's got Apele Fassi and Colby to the right. And Colby just steps inside of Slate Home and says, yeah, look, Oaks, if you're not going to tackle me, I'm just going to start grabbing a couple of stats here. Damien Delende is so good. And the pass as well. It's straight into the hands of Cheslin Colby. I think he actually meant to be fair. At first I thought it was a poor pass that went in front of... who's he got burst through here? It's Ben Earl and Henry Slade. The power of Damien Delendi. I mean, we talk about how good of a game Andre Esterhuizen had last week. And we continue to talk about the fact that Damien Delendi... Andre Esterhuizen, it's a great kick from Pollard. That's why he's on. From the corner and over it goes. Looked much more assured today as Pollard from last week. And I was saying Andre Esterhuizen suffers from the horrendous syndrome of not being Damien Delendi and playing at the same time as who I think will retire as our greatest number 12. He is so good as Damien Delendi. The consistency of performance is phenomenal. Right, 29 points to 20 with 15 minutes to go. The bench is on and Ulrich Lowe goes up and does very well to take that. The only sub still to come on here is Lucanio When we're going to see Luke's. Pollard goes to the boot, right up against the touchline, needs to stay in, and does stay in, back into the hands of Cheslin Colby, who puts it to the boot, and it'll eventually run out. And I think it's going to be a South African line as well. Now, this is a bit better. This is a bit better. Starting to up the ante. Let's start having a go here, boys. Do. Right, people, we're 150 people away from 82,000, which was the goal for today. So if you are new, by the way, please do subscribe to the channel as well. It is an England lineup, but it's a horrible lineup. Quacker Smith's diving all over that ball, which is penalty. I'm not sure what. I think it must be from the line out. Is the interference in the line is the call, yeah. All right, Marcus Smith finds touch on about the halfway line. So the only substitute that hasn't come on for the box is Lucanio for England. I think who's still to come on here? George Ford, Alex Dombrandt, and Nick Sekre are the three still to come on. Penalty advantage here for England. And chip over the top here from Harry Randall. And Pollard is there, and they'll go back for the penalty. Discipline in the second half in the box has not been particularly good. I think Sierkley's going to have a talking to about a final warning, potentially. So it's the consecutive penalties in the line is the issue. And they're slowly progressing up the park here, England. Just allowing them to progress to the park by just being ill-disciplined here. Now England inside the 22. And Alex Dombrandt comes onto the park here. And will replace Sam Underhill and Eben Etzebeth. So Peter Step the Toy was a blood bin. I thought it was a strange one to have. So Eben Etzebeth makes way. Peter Step the Toy will shift back into lock. And Sam Underhill is off. What a game he had. He's a tremendous player, Sam Underhill. He would make a box squad. Right, no interference that time at the line. Now looking for the rolling Moore here at England, but once again stopped. They haven't had much success with the rolling Moore. Boxer defended it pretty well. There comes a second shove, but the call is there for the ref for to use it now. Amari Tojo. And the ball gets ripped, I think, and it's a turnover ball here. It's freaking spider cam's going to make me do my nutcher. Anyway, Cheslin Colby now kicks to forward after the turnover ball. I think it was from Vincent Koch. And was that not carried back is what the players are saying. It's a territory gain of 35.5 meters. It could be a phenomenal kick from Cheslin Colby. As long as it's not carried back, which I don't think it was. We'll have to wait. Yeah, I think it's okay. Great turnover. I couldn't really see it because of the freaking change of angle. Come on, lads. Let's just last 30 minutes here. One more try. Channicani himself. Use it quickly. I hope the greatest pass there to Harry Randall. Marcus Smith caught in a couple of 2 minds there. Marcus Smith gets on him. Smith on Smith action. Harry Randall goes to the left to Lukau and Dickey. Slow ball here from England. Penalty though. And that's going to be a yellow card. Gerard Sternekamp. Silly. I don't know if it's a high tackle actually. I'm a bit confused what the yellow card is for there. Right, we're going to finish the next 10 minutes with a man down as Gerard Sternekamp goes to the bin. And that's just consecutive penalties. And we're just allowing them back every single time. Every few minutes we're allowing them back in there. That's a much better more looking from England, but Box eventually do a penalty advantage. It's always a penalty advantage as soon as that kind of gets started. Luke Dickey burst away from it. We feel like this is a matter of time here, especially down to 14 men now. Chandler Cunningham himself. Pick up and go. Still penalty advantage for England. Finn Baxter. There's the Kanya on for, I assume, Damien Delendi. Harry Randall. He's going to go himself. It was so textbook. Quacker Smith makes the tackle. Lots of pressure here on the box from England. And Dombrat's just short. Still penalty advantage. Henry Slade's making the call for it. It's chaos here. I think it might have been turned. No, it's still available for England. Just short. Once again, Malcolm Marks on that. And they're saying that the steel's clean. We're going to go back for the penalty at the line for the Maul. Yeah, we know Andrew Brace can also penalise them every now and again, eh? So it's a final warning. Another one of that. We're going to have 2 in the bin. That would just make my day, wouldn't it? By the way, if you're going to hate on Liebach Deathwood class, you can get it right. It's actually 5 points, not 6 points. Just if you're gonna be that person, just get the facts right though. It was a conversion and a penalty, not 2 penalties. They're going for the corner here, England. I mean, it's an interesting decision because even a converted try still puts them 2 points short. You kick the 3, for example, and a converted try suddenly takes them to the lead. So interesting decision that from England. They go short. Oh, that's going to be a try. Oh, it's gone down. Nope, it's... Come on! Free kick. Free kick. Not straight. Oh, I think going straight through. What is it for? Didn't you go past the 5? Right, well, that's a big free kick, and Andre Pollard's just going to put this as far downfield as possible. Will find touch. Not out of danger yet. They're halfway between the 10-meter and the 22, but they've... Oh, damn it. Okay, well, what we used to call booking, that's what he did. I was too busy looking at at Shannon Cunningham South going through the angle there, but it was the dummy basically. Oh, that's a knock on. Thank you. Couple of mistakes here. This is what we need. Cheapest. I mean, that's a test job made from Shannon Cunningham South. Goes up, gets the ball, and just straight down to Harry Randall. Couldn't have done much about that. Awful, awful ball coming down from Shannon Cunningham South. And Sir Khaleesi shaking Andrew Brace's hand. He's off. So I assume it must have been a... Oh, because we've got to bring on a prop. So Wilco Low has to come back on. Huh? Oh, I suppose you got Oxen Chair. So I don't know. Interesting. So Oxen Chair was off. Injury. Now, Gerostin comes in the bin. So Khaleesi's gone off. Well, technically, Khaleesi can come back on. He won't. There are 2 minutes left in the end of the game. But... I don't know if either of these props are actually sanctioned to be able to scrum at loose here. I don't know. We might actually have an uncontested scrum here. So that's anything but an uncontested scrum, as Harry Randall puts Quagga Smith under a lot of pressure. And a couple of players have to go in there to eventually secure that. So I think I assume Vincent Koch must have packed down. Maybe Wilco Low packs down at Lucid. Come on! Now Malcolm Masters is asking the same thing on the ref. The Boks are getting very frustrated at the calls here. Eight minutes left, and we can't get outside by 22. Right, so line inside the 22. Shannon Cunningham South once again. This time doesn't bullet it down to Harry Randall. Counter Moores is pretty good at the moment. Now starting to edge forward, England. Looking to stay bound. Once it's called, successfully stopped. Good work from the Boks. Now Henry Slade. Oh, cheapest. Line him up and knock him down. So the Kanya and Jesse Creel. Big tackle that on Ollie Lawrence. And the ball. Big counter coming for the Boks. Ball's there apparently. The ref says play it. And I think it's come on the... Yeah, penalty. Come on. There we go. There we go. Big penalty that. Lots of pressure. Lakanya and Jesse Creel. That was a phenomenal defensive read. They saw it. And the pop from Henry Slade into the hands of Ollie Lawrence. And Jesse Creel and Lakanya just... Bang. Boom. Look at that. Huge tackle. Drive him back. Up onto his feet is JC Creel. Lekanya adds Malcolm Marks arrives, adds his weight. The referee says you can go for it. I think England then play the ball on the ground, get penalised, and the Boks progress up towards England half, actually, just past the halfway line. Big moment in the game that. Down to 14 men. Just got to see the game out here now, boys. See the game out. Malcolm Marks has to get this line out right. What is he doing? We just put it straight over the top to Lukau and Dickey. Good. I mean, that is awful. I mean, has Malcolm Marks forgotten how to throw a ball into the line out? He's lost that forward. Well, apparently not. Apparently he kept... Ollie Lawrence, space out wide. Malcolm Marks used to hustle. Comes inside as Lawrence. Malcolm Marks makes the tackle. Itoje, good work there from Kumas Ryan. He's slightly isolated there. Vincent Koch wants to get over the ball. Gets the penalty. Well done, Vincent. The lineouts have been awful. Absolutely awful. Big turnover that from Vincent Koch. Goodness me. Why is it when like just watching the game, I'm like going through like bottles of water like it's going out of fashion? I feel like I'm actually playing the damn game. As I said, I'm gonna start logging this down for a little workout, getting on Strava. Chandler Cunningham himself getting some treatment there. A bit more of a quiet game than we've seen in the recent weeks, Chandler Cunningham himself. Good player, though. And there's Nicky Sikwe onto the bench. Onto the park, rather. So I think it's just George Ford who hasn't come on just yet. Yeah, everybody else seems to be... Oh, I suppose Tom Roback went on and then came back off. So I think he's still sitting on the bench. Right, line over here on the 10-meter line. Malcolm Marks with the ball in hand. He's been really poor at the line out, so he's got to nail this. That's still looking really more here. Kanya in the midfield now. Playing it inside centre is the Kanya Ball available for Kubas Reinach. He wants to go himself. That's not the right option. Ball squeezes out the back, and Malcolm Marks is away to the threat. Manages to get it. Under pressure from Ben Earl. Basically, a couple of forwards get back. Kubas Reinach goes short to Wilco Low. Just takes the hit. Penalty. I think it's actually the previous ruck here. Offside, I think is the call. Yeah, so Luke Dickey. So this should be take the 3 points over here, get ourselves a comfortable lead. Yeah, 32 points to 20, 12 points, 4 minutes to go. That should be the game. So on the 10-meter line, Andre Pollard over here will surely... No, we're going for the corner. Never mind, I'll take everything back. That's a bit of a weird decision. I don't mind the decision, but weird to think that Monty D-Box taking penalties on the 50 meters just for half time, where Andre Pollard with 4 minutes to go is going to the corner. Look, I suppose run the clock down, but you nail that penalty, you get yourself 12 points ahead. Then you're going to have to score 2 converted tries to win. That ain't happening. Albert Lowe, good work from him. Nice take from the line out. He was asking about it high because there was a hand around his neck. Malcolm Marks got the ball over here. Stop once is the call here from Andrew Brace. Now starts to move forward. Dan Cole has found himself at the back once again. Malcolm Marks still had a bit of pressure there. Turns around. Does manage to present well to Kubas Reinach. Goes short to Wilco Low. Now Peter Steph the toy. Short to Quacker Smith. Almost through 2. Into the 22, the box go. To the right-hand side now. Malcolm Marks. Now back to the left-hand side, Jeff, from Kubas Reinach. He goes to Albert Low. Quick defense there from England, but does well to absorb the pressure. Ball still available there for Kubas Reinach, looking for options. Goes back to Pollard in the pocket, looking for the drop goal. And has he got it? No, he hasn't. To the right-hand side from Andre Pollard. Again, weird decision. We've gone for the corner, taken the line out, gone through a couple of phases, and then decided to go for the drop goal. If you want the 3, take the 3. You know, like it was there and it was pretty. I mean, it's far easier than the earlier attempt, which he slotted. Well, I didn't say slotted. That bounced on the crossbar and over. Great take that from Chesney Colby. Goodness me, he's been good today. Phenomenal take out the air under a lot of pressure. Kubas Reinach now taking his time. 5 seconds left on the yellow card, and then we'll have Sia Khaleesi and Gerastina come back on the park. Getting through a lot of works that's coming on as Albert Low. Kubas Reinach now going to go to the boot. That's quite deep, and it needs to hustle to get there, does Ches and Colby. Marcus Smith will mark it. Too deep there from Kubas Reinach. Oh, he's taking it quickly, and he's been caught in the ball. Quacker Smith all over him. Back up to the balls, Quacker Smith. And Harry Randall's not going to have to clean up. Wrong decision that time from Marcus Smith. And with just over a minute left on the clock, as Freddie Stewart goes to touch, we'll be able to get back, first of all, our skipper as well as Gerastina Kamp, who was yellow carded, and should be able to see out the final minute. Right, back they come. So I'm going to put a link in the description, by the way, for the player ratings. Basically, what we do after this is we go and rate every single player 1 through to 10. And basically what happens is the platform we use, as the Kanya takes it off the back of the lineout, it basically aggregates the penalty for England. Goodness, great. It basically aggregates all the votes, and then we get a general vote. So it's 1 to 10, so whatever the average vote is, like 7.3 or 2 or whatever, that's how it works. So you can start going voting. Basically, after this, we will move immediately to the post-match, the player rating show. We'll do a quick recap of the game, and then we'll get into the player ratings themselves. So make sure you come and join us afterwards. Always good fun. Ball over the top. The lineups have been very optional today. Pretty appalling from both teams, in all honesty. Big counter coming from Sia Khaleesi, who's got 1 more minute to make an impact. But the clock officially goes red. Last play of the game here. And they've lost it forward, and Kubas Rana can kick this out, and Box will say, thank you very much. Not our finest performance. We go marching on. 29 points to 20 is how it ends at Twickenham. And once again, job done. Job done. Very good moments, also a couple of sloppy moments. And Sia Khaleesi having a couple of words like his name, which is quite a bit of a weird one. But that is it, right, people? We're going to move straight into the player rating show. So come and join me over there from the player rating show. Rusty Russ was having a go at the fan. He wants a photo. Rusty Russ was like, well, then take the damn photo, boy. So we'll go straight into the player rating show. From the player rating show, we'll then send you to the watch along for New Zealand.